back from Boone County. He's the superintendent of schools who requested this change, and so I told him we would go into the agenda and start doing legislation and wait for him to get here so he can speak to you all before you all make your comments known. So he'll be here in a few minutes. He's coming back from his daughter's volleyball game, I think, and we'll hear from him and from you when he gets here.
So Mr. Wolf wants to speak to the city regarding the traffic changes that he's looking for on Fifth Avenue. We'll give him the grace of taking care of his daughter's sports activities, and when he comes in, we'll deal with that. So the agenda is going to move a little bit, but in the meanwhile, we'll go ahead. Other than that particular item on the agenda, we're going to go ahead and open up the podium for public comments on anything else that is on the agenda. So if you have anything you'd like to speak to City Council and administration on the agenda that does not partake in the Fifth Street one-way, the podium is yours. Go.
Last time I was here, I went up and I think I was out of order.
Yeah, there's another comment period after this. That
Yeah, that's not on the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm still out of order, right?
You're out of order now, sir.
I get it.
That's all right. We're all friendly here. You know that. So if nobody has any comments about tonight's agenda, other than that, we'll proceed until Mr. Wolf gets here. First on the docket would be the first reading ordinance 2025-4. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending Chapter 38 of the City of Dayton Code of Ordinances titled Code Enforcement Board to update the ordinance to provide more clarity to organizational and regulatory requirements in the ordinance.
So I met with City Attorney Alex Edmondson and Code Enforcement Director Cassie Patterson about our code enforcement ordinances, which have been in effect for many years, but some changes have happened in the statutes. Some things that we are doing in practice are not reflected accurately in the ordinance, so we felt that we needed to change it to make that clear that what we're doing is covered by ordinance and that we've incorporated the statutory changes that have made since our ordinance was passed. Haven't changed anything regarding fines or anything like that. That all stays the same, but I sent a red line version to City Council so you could see the actual changes. This version just has it being repealed in its entirety, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Well, this does expand the code board from 3 members to 5 members.
That's right. So you can, under the statute, you have to have a minimum of 3, but it creates a bit of a quorum issue and when somebody's missing, so we felt we would move to 5. We already have 2 alternatives on there, so it won't be we've already got the people to do it, so we just want to clarify that we have 5 members and not 3.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Again, this is just a first reading. Next on the docket is first reading ordinance 2025-5. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending the City of Dayton, Kentucky's annual budget for the fiscal year running from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, and estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds to the city for the city to the full extent authorized by KRS 82082 and interpretive case law.
I'll defer this to Assistant City Administrator Jared Barks. He handles our budget. So, Jared.
These are year-end adjustments for the previous fiscal year. They're not for the fiscal year that we're currently in. And this is just to tie up some loose ends as far as how much we actually spent and took in for revenues and expenses. I sent you all an email breaking down each of those accounts and the line items that were over or under budget or whatever it might have been. Are there any specific questions that you have for me?
Is this the result of the audit that took place?
It is not.
Any other comments from council regarding first reading ordinance 2025-5? All right, this is, again, a first reading, so we'll have a whole month of stew on it. Next up is the order resolutions. First on the docket would be order resolution 2025-18 Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution declaring city-owned real property located at 207 Fifth Avenue, Dayton, Kentucky as surplus property and authorizing the mayor to sell or otherwise dispose of this property as permitted under Kentucky law.
So this is, this order resolution and the next two are all kind of related. There's a developer named Josh Crawford who Cassie and I have been meeting with over the last couple of months. We've heard from some city council members that we have these empty lots, and are we trying to sell these to somebody that will come in and develop them? And we've changed our zoning code to allow for what's called infill housing that kind of matches up what's in the neighborhood. Otherwise, it made it almost impossible to do infill housing. We did that a couple of years ago. So we've been looking around trying to find a developer that does a good product, and Josh has done a number of rehabs in the city, and he's also done some new builds. So a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, Josh and I took a ride around the city, looked at some of the empty lots we had, and also he gave me some addresses where he did new builds, so I could check those out. And we looked at a property at 507.
207.
I'm sorry, 207 Fifth, and that's where he wants to do his first building. When we get into the next order resolutions, you'll see some design plans for that building, interior and exterior. And he's here, by the way. I asked him to come in case you all had any questions of him. So this one's just declaring the property surplus. So the other ones talk about the details. We're selling it to him basically for what we have it on the books for, the PVA, for the assessed value. The good thing is we're not making any taxes on it right now. We sell it, he builds a nice house, and we start getting tax revenue on that. But before we sell a property, we have to declare it surplus. And that's what this particular order resolution is doing. So what we're doing is declaring it surplus through economic development reasons, and that's a statute allows us to do that, because the reason we could put it on the market and anybody could come buy it. It's an empty lot. It's not worth a whole lot by itself, but the problem is you have no control over the development. So someone could get that property and just sit on it for 24, 30 years, which some people do. Or they could come and build a structure that we really don't like. It's not consistent, excuse me, with the neighborhood character or up to our standards. But we felt the best way to do this was to use this economic development provision in the state statutes to sell to him for its appraised value, assessed value, and then have control and have a development agreement with them, which is another item here we'll talk about, and to require him to do certain things. So, but this one's just declaring it surplus. I've thrown a lot at you. There's 3 different issues here. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the houses adjoining these empty lots, not just this one, but whatever, do you notify those owners that this is going to be, that we are going to be releasing this property, and if they want to have a double lot, here's your chance?
No, we didn't. We would prefer to have it developed as a residence, which increases the tax value, so we did not notify them.
As a matter of record, Ben, when you and I first got on council, this
Yes.
same property was donated to the city
Yep.
by Catherine Hamilton Hicks, a previous resident. And we offered it at that time, and I think at $6,000, which was the PVA at that time, to the neighbors. And one of the neighbors said that he wanted it, but my understanding is that sale never went through for some reason. So it was offered for sale previously, and that's probably, what, 12 years ago?
That's been a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's a better practice from the city's perspective in terms of finances to try to put development on there. It brings in revenue to the city. An empty lot, $7,000 for a lot doesn't really bring in a whole lot of revenue. This house, I think, would be between $200,000 and $300,000, which would generate a lot more revenue for the city.
Well, you also have included, just to clarify, in the next ordinance, 2025-5, if the project is not completed and a certificate of occupancy issued by the Department of Planning Zoning before December 31st, 2026, then it reverts back to the city. So it's not just that we're selling this and he can just sit on it. He actually has to build on it and get a certificate of occupancy. He has to be done by the end of next year.
Who, the developer?
The developer does, yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
that if I was in that position, I'd want that lot.
I would too, but I'm not willing to build a house on it. And many others would like to buy the lot too. But they would not build a house on it. We'd still have an empty lot there.
It
as
wouldn't be
Jay's
empty, it
point.
would be adjoining one of the neighbor's properties so they could have a double lot.
And as I said years ago, that was offered to those neighbors.
Not this specifically, just as a policy. When you have
Understood.
these
Moving
city-owned-
forward, yeah.
Yeah, as we have these city-owned empty lots, maybe the neighbors would want it. I would want it.
I'm just glad we're getting rid of another city-owned vacant lot that we have to maintain.
Right, it costs us money to maintain those.
One less lawn to worry about.
Okay, so is that then your policy going forward with all owned city lots, is we will not offer them to public, we will not list them, we will find a developer, and we will be looking to develop that property and making it as tightly spaced infill as possible?
Not my policy. I'm just following the policy of this, of the direction I've gotten from council members. They want us to try to sell these lots to, and get them developed, so that's what I'm following. But no, if there's a lot that is not buildable, or it's some reason someone that doesn't really seem like wants to buy it for development, then sure, why not sell it to them? Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, my question is about the developer itself. So the developer come to us to ask for this property, or do we go to them?
He came, I don't know, Cassie, I don't know, Josh, why don't you go, where are you at? You're back.
Josh is a frequent flyer.
Come on up here. Why don't you come up here and answer
City
any
Hall.
questions? I think it was kind of mutual. I told Cass we were looking for developers, and she'd said he'd done some good work, and I can't remember how it got started. Did you maybe?
I think it was more of a mutual thing, just being at the sheriff's sales.
Yeah,
It was kind
that's
of
right.
more of a mutual thing. It wasn't,
And so Josh has
Directly
done
one
some
person
good
or the
work.
other.
Cassie's inspected it, and, we're happy with it. And this is a test run. He wants to do more properties. We said we're gonna do one, and we'll see how you do on it, and if it looks like it works out. And we're also willing to sell to other developers who want to come to the city. So, we're willing to, take the best offer we can get. So, but this one, we wanted Josh to try it out, and it's a nice location. It's not a real big lot. It's kind of tight, but it's going to work, I think. And we can talk about the development agreement here in a minute, but why don't you just stay up here? If you vote on this one, then we got to approve a development agreement, and then we have to sell the property to him and authorize a deed to do that. That's the next two orders and resolutions.
Well, for this point, this is just declaring that lot surplus.
Right, so
Correct.
Okay.
even if you decide not to sell it to him, it's still surplus if you wanted to sell it to the next door neighbors or a third party.
In that case, I'll make the motion to approve Order Resolution 2025-18 Romeo.
So Member Neary has made a motion to approve 2025-18 Romeo. Do I have a second?
So moved.
So moved by Member Judd, which opens up further discussion. So, Council, administration, any further discussion regarding this ordinance?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the very first thing that you said. So you met him because he approached the city interested in?
So Cass and I go to every foreclosure sale in the city. One, if we have code enforcement liens, want to make sure we get our money back out of that. But we also, whenever someone buys a property, we give them information about the city, explain to them when they have to get rental licenses, and they have to get an occupational license and all these things, and we also give them information. And so, over the course of time, we've run into Josh quite a few times there.
At the
and-
sheriff's sales?
At
or
the
whatever.
sheriff's sales, and we started striking up a conversation about, hey, you got any properties for sale in the city? And we said, yeah, we do. So that led to me driving around with him about 2 weeks, or 2 months ago, or a month ago. And we looked at about probably a dozen properties, maybe. And this is the one he decided he was interested in,
Are these all vacant lots?
all vacant lots.
Okay.
Council, any other questions for Mr. Crawford?
I have one more question. The vacant lots, how many do you have?
Well, we've got a ton of vacant lots, but some of them are tiny little areas, some are flag lots, but those that are available to develop, probably, I would say 10, maybe 15 at the most, but some of them are really bad areas, deep hills or high hills. So I would say 10, or probably 10 out there that can be developed. Some are really small, should have to have the right size structure on it, so 10 to 15.
If there was a person that lived on either side of the lot, how would they find out that they could buy it from the city?
I mean, they probably, it's an empty lot, they probably have already maybe looked into it. You can go online, you can see exactly who owns the property by going to the PVA.
Okay,
Our name is on the ones that we own.
okay.
Any other questions for administration or Mr. Crawford on this ordinance? If not, we'll move right along with, we have a motion by Member Neary, a second by Member Judd. Roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Levens?
Aye.
Member Horton?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Neiman?
Aye.
Member Kelly?
Aye.
Member Judd?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thanks, sir.
Cool, thank you.
Next on the docket is 2025-19 Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a development agreement with JAC Developments LLC to construct a new single-family residence at 207 Fifth Avenue, Dayton, Kentucky.
So this is the development agreement we discussed. Councilmember Neary is correct. There is a requirement that he construct this building by the end of next year. We do have a provision that he gets 6 months extension if you can show good cause. So, but at the minimum, it's 1 year, and at the maximum, it's a year and a half. And if he doesn't have a CO by a certificate of occupancy by that time, then the property reverts back to the city, and he waives the $7,000 he's paying for it as a liquidated damages. So we would keep that money.
And that was the only question I had on this. If an extension is required for whatever reason, supply chain, et cetera, that extension can be granted by administration, or does that have to be approved by city council?
That's administration.
Okay.
All right, so this is where my question comes in. I'm always worried about competitive bidding. So as much as I do appreciate that he's willing to develop, I would like to see an opportunity for this to be open to others to also bid on the property.
Yes, and that's, we can do that. The problem is, if you do public auction, like I said, someone can get the property and just do nothing with it, or build something you don't want. So this gives us control over how you develop the property. My experience in Covington, that's what we did, and it was a much better process than just letting somebody buy the property, because you have control over how the property is done through your development agreement. So, and the development agreement at the back of it shows you this structure. It looks like it would be very nice in that neighborhood. So, but I understand your concerns. I guess we could maybe find a hybrid that if you bid on it, that you have to get in a development agreement with the city, but something we can talk about.
Yeah, that would be my preferred route.
Okay.
I agree.
With that being said, I'm against this ordinance or this order.
You have that opportunity to vote against it. In which we haven't actually done the proper protocol. Do we have a motion to accept 2025-19R?
So moved.
Member Neary's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was that?
Lovins.
Jess? Member Lovins had a second. So now we have any other comments or conversation regarding this ordinance?
I kind of understand where Councilman Judd and Councilwoman Neiman is coming from, but with this particular one, I think we should just move forward with it and then open it up for the next 10 properties that we have. You know, why hold this up? Let's see what it's like. We've got the first right, or is that with first right to get it back if he doesn't develop within a time that's fair, you know, so see what I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been any kind of ill dealings going on, so why not just try this one, and then we have 10 other properties, we open that up to other developers, because Dayton's hot right now, we can probably market it to get some developers in here, so that's just my thoughts on it. It doesn't seem like it's a bad deal, so I'm gonna go with that.
The only, and I understand your concern, the only problem is that when you ask a developer to come in and they don't want to put the money up to design the plans, and Mr. Crawford did that. I said, I'm not gonna do this until you show me what you're gonna do. So you might get as many people as you think if they know they have to design a property, pay a architect to do that before, you know, we approve it. So we'll have to work through all those issues, and I think a lot of people probably don't want to spend that money up front. They don't know they're going to get the property. So it gets complicated. Yeah.
Well, I think, as you said, this also serves as a template
Right.
moving forward. Almost all of the city-owned lots, and Jay, you sent out that list, I think, back beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe send it out again with updates on it for other properties that may have been added. The fact that there is this commitment to be done with a certificate of occupancy, meaning it is done, rather than sitting on an empty lot, I think that is a great model moving forward. In fact, you know, we've got some foundations down on Manhattan Harbor that haven't been done. There's no time limit on that. So the fact that there is a time limit, I think, serves the city well, serves the neighborhood very well too, because you could get some absentee, you know, one of these banks from out of state that buys lots like crazy and doesn't do anything to them, and we're chasing them to get the bill for the grass cutting done.
Yep.
We've got a firm commitment here on this, and the pullback that we could take it back and we don't lose any money on it if it's not completed as planned. So that would be the difference, as Jay said, between putting it out there for bid and this particular proposal here.
No, I don't disagree. I just don't want to get in the habit of playing favoritism of some developers over others without the opportunity of that going out. So was there at any point that we posted saying we're welcoming developers for this site?
I've actually taken several developers around, but this is the first one that's ever, that, I haven't actually put anything on the website about it or anything like that. Like I said, it's something we can talk about if you want to try to do that. We could do a big tour and just bring a bunch in and see what they, you know, and if they are interested. But I think it'd be nice to do this as a model to see how it works and how we work through it. That's why I suggested it.
And infill is a really tough gig right now. Everybody wants greenfield, so
Yep.
they can come in and do a subdivision.
Yeah.
To get actual individual lots with public sewage and water and everything, we need more housing all over the place. This is a great example of doing that, I think.
So when you gave the example of, you know, instead of handpicking the developer that you choose to have this lot, you know, you don't know who's gonna come in, right? Isn't that what you said? You didn't know?
Well, it's just like selling anything. You don't know who's going to buy it and what they're going to do with it.
But if you had like 10 offers and you're looking, 5 offers, and you're looking at the offers and you're thinking, this one's questionable, no, yes, 3 of these, okay, we're gonna pick this. I mean, you would still have the autonomy to pick.
Well, it depends on the terms that you would have and the validity of the person who wants to buy it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we
You
should
would
have some
dismiss-
oversight.
Yeah, you would dismiss the ones that you didn't find viable. You would dismiss the ones that you wouldn't find viable.
Correct.
Yeah, so
But-
to put it out there and have some competition in the bidding, why is that dangerous?
Oh, I'm not saying it's dangerous at all. In fact, I've pushed for, as Jay and Ben both know, I've pushed to get these
Oh,
properties.
yeah, I know that part. It's this other part.
You've talked to multiple developers, you've had multiple developers come through town looking at these properties, and this is the only viable one that you found, correct?
So far, this is the only one. I have a few others that say they're interested, but they haven't gotten back with me, so.
So in this case, I'm trusting administration that they've done their due diligence on it.
Okay.
It's, doing infill housing in urban areas is difficult because you don't know what you're gonna get into once you start building your foundation. There could be old foundations there. It's just a lot more expensive than you said, like greenfields. So.
I don't doubt any of that. It's that, why didn't we put it out publicly? And if we have 3 responses that are,
Well, I think we're talking about doing that in the
Yeah.
future. We wanted to go with somebody we trusted, we know does a good product, and then we'll work through doing it to, the general development community, if that's what you all want to do. I'm happy to do that.
yep.
Any other discussion regarding 2025-19 Romeo? So I've had a motion by Member Neary and a second by Member Lovins. Roll call, please.
Member Judd?
Nay.
Member Lovins?
Aye.
Member Horton?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Neiman?
No.
Member Kelly?
Aye.
The ayes have it. All All right, moving right along. We have order resolution number 2025-20, Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution authorizing the City of Dayton, Kentucky to sell real estate located at 207 Fifth Avenue to JAC Developments LLC for $7,000.
This directly coincides with the last order resolution. Do you want to explain anything more?
No, it's just basically authorizing you to enter into a deed with the LLC to sell the property.
All right, so do I have a motion to accept 2025-20, Romeo?
I'll make the motion to accept 2025.
Member Lovins has made the motion. Do I have a
21
second?
Romeo.
I'll second.
Second by Member Kelly, which opens it up for comment, questions, concerns from council. Any further comments, questions?
Just regarding the due diligence comment that was made before, do we have any type of evidence that we've had other developers look at properties around here?
I mean, I've talked to two other ones besides Josh, yes. You want
Okay.
their names? I mean,
Yeah, we do talk to other developers regarding. Who are the developers, Jay?
Toby Mavis, one, and then, I remember his name, he does a lot of development in Bellevue. Can't think of his name right now, but he's the other one who's interested.
Okay.
So I'll get you the name, can't remember.
Okay.
Well, question for Mr. Edmondson, since this is less than $10,000 valuation, it could be an administration decision, correct?
It could, but it's a good decision to introduce it to the council, especially in the fact it's on the heels of the other two resolutions and ordinances, or orders that you've already asked for, so there's no harm in it.
But surplus property valued at $10,000 or less does not require council to approve.
That's correct. But the
Thank you.
development agreement does.
Understood.
Any other questions, comments, concerns regarding 2025-20, Romeo? Roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Kelly,
Aye.
Member Judd,
Nay.
Member Lovins,
Aye.
Member Horton,
Aye.
Member Neary,
Aye.
Member Neiman.
No.
The ayes have it again. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Okay.
We're in a stride. We're in a stride, Jay. Next up is going to be Order Resolution 2025-21, Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution accepting the bid of Pruse Construction Company and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with this company in the amount of $2,288,997 for the construction of phases 2 and 3 of the Rivers Edge Riverfront Commons project in the city of Dayton, Kentucky.
So
Mr.
this-
Fawcett, please.
Yeah, so this is a very good ending to a very long and arduous process. So phase one of this project was done in 2020. Then, of course, we're in the middle of the pandemic at that time, and we had designs for phase two, and we sent out advertisement for bids for construction of phase two. I think that was in 2022. And because of the pandemic and some other issues, they came $1 million over budget for what we wanted to do on phase two. So we didn't have that money budgeted. That was only so, most of this money is coming from a federal grant. It's SNK grant. So 80% of this money comes from federal government. We have to match 20%. When the $1 million came in higher than what we expected, we didn't have that budgeted for it. So we had to go back to the drawing boards. We went back to OKI, which is a clearinghouse for federal funds, what all the governments have to go to. And we requested more money, and they awarded us $700,000 more. And then we had Mike Yeager revamp the design plans. He talked to the contractors who bid on it, found out what their headaches were, and he tweaked the designs, value engineering, they call it, so that he got rid of those headaches. So the good news is we finally, after working with, and then phase three, then got designed. So we talked with that Kentucky State Transportation Cabinet and said, can we just do phase 2 and 3 together instead of doing it sequentially? And they said yes. So it took a little extra time, and KYTC is notoriously slow on some of these projects, but we finally got their approval a couple weeks ago. We put the bid out. The bids came in under budget. So we had two bids, both were under budget. Unfortunately, the one bid was a little bit less, but they did not pre-qualify with the state of Kentucky as a contractor with KYTC. So KYTC said they cannot qualify. So we're going with Prus, who actually did phase one, a very well-respected concrete contractor in Cincinnati. And this is for $2.2 million. 80% of that is federal money we're getting through KYTC. The 20% we've already budgeted, it's in this budget. The budget we approved last month or 2 months ago, and it's been there for a couple of years, quite honestly. So we are finally going to be able to use that money we've set aside for this project. But it will finish the entire trail right along the river, and then we'll have a total 3-mile trail that goes on the upper trail, on top of the levee here, and on the lower trail. So this is to authorize us to move forward with this. KYTC still has to sign off on this. I think we're so far down the road, I think we're okay there, but this is our approval of this contract, and once KYTC says it's good to go, we'll enter the contract. The hope is that they can start this fall, and do a lot of the groundwork, and actually do the construction this spring.
Motion to approve order resolution 2025-21 Romeo.
Dang, he didn't even. Member Judd's on top of it. Love it.
I'll
We have a
second.
motion to approve, I have to look at my notes here. 2025-21 Romeo by Member Judd. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Horton. That opens it up for discussion. Anybody want to discuss this?
Isn't SD1 involved in this also?
So SD1 wanted to use the trail to bring their trucks down, so we told them, if you want to do that, you're going to put thicker concrete. And so I can't remember the amount, but I think they're going to pay us $250,000 to $300,000 to put in that thicker concrete so that their trucks can use the road. So that will go into this project.
So SD1 is paying for that change to the original plans?
That's correct. Well, the original plan always had them doing it, but we always had to agree with them. They were going to pay for the extra concrete.
Understood. But we still got to wait for KYTC to
I think
give their final.
Yeah, they did the final stamp, so.
Okay.
We have a motion by Member Judd and a second by Member Horton. Do we have any other comments, questions, concerns for administration?
Just a long time coming
Ain't it though?
to this point.
Good things come to those that wait, I believe I've been told. Ms. Klein, roll call, please.
Member Neiman,
Aye.
Member Kelly,
Aye.
Member Judd,
Aye.
Member Levens,
Aye.
Member Horton,
Aye.
Member Neary.
Aye.
Unanimously, that's amazing. Jay, this makes us the first, right?
What's that?
We're the first to complete?
Once it's done, we'll be the first to have the trail completed in our community.
Well, we won't break,
It's between us and Covington. I think they're going to be behind us.
they're always behind us. No offense, Mayor Washington. Well done, well done, council, well done, administration. That's amazing. Good job.
Well, Mayor, I also
Yes.
saw the agenda for Bellevue's council meeting tomorrow night, and on their agenda, they have whether or not to purchase the property at the end of Benke Way,
Yeah.
which, should they do that, would connect to our property on O'Fallon,
Yep.
which would complete that loop for the Riverfront Trail.
I hope that works out for Bellevue because it's a very important piece of this puzzle. But that's also why you have your meetings on Tuesdays and not Wednesdays. You get stuff done first.
Right.
Well, heads up for them. Well done, council. Well done, administration. Next and last in the docket would be Order Resolution 2025-22 Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution of the Dayton City Council expressing its commitment to improving kindergarten readiness in the city of Dayton and working with partners to establish a place-based early learning initiative known as Read Ready Dayton.
So there's a group called Educate NKY, which is involved in trying to improve the outcomes of children before they get into kindergarten. The studies show that if they aren't reading at some level, and by the time they get there, they're going to be behind. So Educate NKY is working with all the school districts in the cities in Northern Kentucky to try to promote this program. And I have a representative from we come here and talk a little bit about your program? I did it injustice there, so.
Yes, all right, well,
yeah.
thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mayor, thank you, City Council members. My name is Jenny Watson, and I am Vice President of Early Learning and Family Power with Educate NKY. I'm a lifelong educator, teacher, principal, assistant superintendent. So we're really studying a lot of research regarding what is it that makes children successful in schools. And a lot of new science has come out from Children's Hospital, from other entities, St. Elizabeth, about how important early learning is, family bonding, attachment, opportunities for really structured learning opportunities before they ever set foot at 5 years old. And actually, there's a new statistic I think is important. 90% of a child's brain is developed before they are 5. So it's really impactful, and in our society, there's often not an owner, an agency, or an owner of that really prenatal care through age 5. So that's what Educate NKY is here to do as a nonprofit, is to kind of try to fill that gap with some resources and funding. But really, we want this to be city-led. So the fact that we're here tonight and the city of Dayton is saying, yes, we care. In order to have a vibrant, ongoing community, we care about our children. So we're going to put the emphasis in that. And then Educate NKY will partner with Jay and the team to form a committee to figure out exactly what resources we want to pour into this project. So the resolution is really just saying that we commit to this and it's a priority.
And they're not requesting money from us. In fact, just the opposite. They're going to bring money into our community to help make this happen. And we're partnering with the school district, Rick and his team. And this was a very successful program that was done in Covington.
Yes.
I think they were the thought leader on this early on. I think Newport is now approved it, and Ludlow's considering it as well. So this is all part of your all's mission.
Yes.
I know you have other missions in your organization, but I know this is an important one for you guys.
Yeah, it is. Early learning matters, and so that's what we're here to do. So any questions, comments?
I know Mr. Wolf's here, the superintendent for Dayton Schools. How does this dovetail or match up with any other programs that DISD currently has?
Come on up here, Rick, because they can't hear you on TV if you don't come up to the microphone.
Yeah, this is, she took many of the words that I would have said. The biggest thing that I harp on is if we get kids in kindergarten at 5 years old that have not had early childhood experiences, it's like starting, Jenny's starting the race in Bellevue and we're racing to Newport and I'm in Dayton. So if I don't have those early childhood experiences, what I feel will allow all of us, city and school, all to be on the same page. We're like, hey, let's find, where are the children in our city? 0 to 3, where are they? How can we work with parents? How can we work with families? How can we work with everyone involved? How can we work with businesses? How can we work with everyone in the city to say, hey, we're all in this together? Because right now we're at roughly 54, 55% of our kindergartners, when they get to us, are deemed kindergarten ready based on the Brigance assessment that the state has us take. Although that score is okay. That's not good. I won 100, right? And the schools by itself, the city by itself, can't do it alone. So we have to all be in this together. So I'm fully in support of this. This was one of the first steps, was bringing it to the city council. And then the next step would be bringing it to our school board to pass a similar resolution as well. So those are my thoughts on the topic.
So this doesn't overlap with anything you're already doing, it fills a gap? Okay.
Correct, yes. Because right now, we have a hard time determining, something we have, I use the example, I think it was 2 years ago, our kindergartners at the end of the year, an assessment we take is oral reading fluency assessment. 88% of those kids at the end of kindergarten were reading at or above grade level. That same assessment, we gave that same assessment at the beginning of first graders with those first kids. That number went from 88 to 66% because we had 7 kids enroll in first grade who had never been in preschool or kindergarten. So once again, they're starting way behind the starting line. So this will just help us tremendously, just work together, so everybody's on the same page.
And it is a combined effort. There are agencies, nonprofits, Educating KY is one of them. EC Learn is another one, stands for Early Childhood Learning. And it's more of like child find. We're trying to find these kids and families before they ever set foot at 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old in the RIC system. So it's a, St. Elizabeth is involved, Keys, that's a Kentucky Early Intervention System, that agency is involved. So it's really a coordinated effort, but the blessing for the city is you're gonna get money to support this effort.
Can you give us an example of, like, if you found found a family that's in need, could you give us run us an example how you do
A
that?
lot of it is just, here's where you can access early Head Start. Here's the person to call so that you can have resources. If we have families that are food insecure or, healthcare insecure, we can help provide them, point them to the right people and places so that that support is given to that child, so that child feels secure and is ready to learn by the time he sets foot in school. So really, it's a contact, always boots on the ground system for us to really access kids and families.
So you have a volunteer team that will
Yes,
go
they
actually
will.
to the families, and they wouldn't have to go?
That'll be part of what
Okay.
we develop.
How would you find them in the first place if they had, I'm over here, if they hadn't been in school yet?
So a lot of that is, it's going to childcare providers. It's finding families who, maybe a mom is staying at home and has 2 or 3 other neighbor kids in her home. It's trying to find those people. And again, like even Dolly Parton Imagination Library is one. So we've got St. Elizabeth now, before a baby is released from the hospital, after being born there at Edgewood, they're now giving a QR code and every child gets signed up for a book every month until they turn 3. And that's paid for by the library system. Parents did not know that. If you just had a baby, you may not know that that's a free resource. So now St. Elizabeth is basically, as part of their dismissal process, they're having the family fill that out ahead of time. It's just the coordinating effort, right? So again, that's just one example. EC Learn, knocking on doors of families and kids and trying to administer a screener, a universal screener. It's called the ASQ. It's an ages and stages questionnaire, and partnering with a parent or guardian to say, what concerns do you have? Is your child talking? Are they meeting milestones? But really, it's kind of a meeting people in the community, volunteers, to help us find those kids and families, and we're just coordinating that effort.
If I can add too, I mean, our firefighters, our police officers, and the social workers work with police officers and code enforcement. We have contact with these families a lot, so we can also help provide information to identify those individuals.
And I would like to make a comment. Lincoln Elementary does a fantastic job. For example, my daughter's a senior at Dayton High School. Now, at one time, Miss Gina Bird, which was Sorrel many years ago, Faith is my only child. Gina came to me when she was 3, and we put her in that program, and from day one, she is above in her reading and has excelled from day one. And she's a senior on her 2nd year of college classes. She's never had anything below a B, but she has beat every expectation in reading. And that was at one time, Gina was at Lincoln, and they have been promoting it. But I put my daughter in at 3, and she's going to be 18 in October and graduating. So Lincoln has always done an excellent job doing that.
And we'll definitely partner with Ms. Dragon, I meet with her and her assistant principal often. So, yeah.
What she just said, so I put her in that program. So what's the program called?
Read Ready.
Read Ready.
Yes.
Okay, so you're looking for kids that are food insecure, that are healthcare insecure, insecure in general. You're making sure that they've had contact with the education system before the age of 5 when they show up for kindergarten, which is mandatory. So you're looking, and then you give them books, they go to the school when they're 3.
I would describe it as, it's more so education, opportunities, and experiences. So it's not like a pamphlet that I would just hand over and say, here, just do this, right? I think a lot of first-time parents, I can use my siblings and in-laws, like I remember when they had babies, one of the first things I sent them was a a screenshot that says the #1 predictor of how well a child does on the ACT is if they're read to when they're a child. And that's not 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. Because a lot of times we think, oh, that baby's just sitting there. They're not understanding what I'm saying. No, read books. And I just, it's no one's fault. It's just, I think a lot of families don't know. So it's getting that education and information out to families so they do know that.
It's having a pamphlet and telling them you should be reading to your kid before age 5.
Well, it's that, but it's much other, it's more than that. It is some other like Read Ready Covington, and these are things that we'll work with the city on, is like, they have in their parks, they have multi-purpose boards where you can go up to them and scan stuff and you can read stuff. So if I got my little daughter with me, we can walk, let's go to the park and let's look at all the different pictures on the wall, and we scan it and we read it together. So it's a multifaceted effort. It's not like one thing. So 'cause I do think that's what a lot of people, although reading would be extremely beneficial. If we just told all families, as soon as you have that little one and you're holding it in your arms and it's a day old, read it. If everybody would do that, well, that would solve a lot of problems, right? But that's not realistic for all families. So sometimes that baby is the 4th one, and you're trying to take care of everybody else. So it is a multifaceted approach so that everyone can be on board and know the importance of how important those early ages are.
Okay,
Like,
so these kids have been identified, and you reach out in some way, and then you make contact with them like every month or something?
That's going to be what the team decides. So it is
Okay.
a local place-based initiative. That means that this city dictates what is exactly in the plan, and then the resources will be there to support whatever the plan is. Another resource that'll come with this, in addition to what Rick was saying with reading, is an app. So we are going to purchase an app. It's called Footsteps to Brilliance / Clever Kids University. Clever Kids University is a 3 to 5-year-old app. They become Footsteps to Brilliance when they become school age, 6 through 8. Educate NKY is going to purchase this app outside of any money that'll be in addition to any money that is given to the cities. And really, what that does for all of us educators is provides a little bit of data. We get to see who are these kids, where they are. So from that, this is collective impact work or social impact work. We need to have a database. We've got to be able to build a system so that we know where these kids and families and who is accessing them. How are we getting to them, right? So that's more comprehensive to what we're saying. The place-based is just one strategy. The app is just another strategy. The literature that maybe has us another. Comprehensive means we're wrapping them around the support and care and really building an infrastructure around prenatal through 5.
You're doing
All
that
right.
now.
I'd like to cut this off here and say this is amazing. It's a no-brainer. And I'd like to move to approve Order Resolution 2025-22
I know
Romeo.
that you like to cut things off, but she's come here to explain a program that I've never heard of and
Yeah,
many haven't.
And all the details
and
will come later.
Okay, then say that.
Yeah,
But I'm actually interested.
yeah.
And
I
maybe
am
somebody
so-
else is
Let me
too.
know how I can help.
I appreciate your interest.
No,
yeah.
I don't want you to help. I want to hear the experts speak without being cut off every time, but that's fine.
Fair enough.
And I appreciate all parties. I appreciate the question.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? There is not like we said, it's not a one-stop shop. It is a multifaceted approach.
I'm trying to identify what exactly goes on in this program. Just interested.
Correct, yeah. And it is hard to,
There are anecdotes and this and that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the kid has been found. What happens between the time you find the kid till the time the kid goes to education?
family.
It's vague.
it is. I
It's
agree
very
with that.
vague.
But it's like, if I
So
talk
like
about
many
faith,
moons ago, it was ABC Learning. So Faith had no disabilities, but she was my only kid. She's never been in daycare. Social skills. She was a spoiled
Okay, that
little
was
brat.
15
We're
years
not
ago.
even gonna
It was
deny.
Jessica.
And Jean, but parts like this, it was some kind of grant. So she got to go to Lincoln at 3 for 4 hours. She graduated preschool 3 times, but that's all right. Because it was part of the program, but it was ABC Learning at the time. And I think it all, yeah, it's kind of,
Okay, I'll be
and a lot of
interested to
families-
hear it as it progresses.
yeah. And I will say, there are a lot of families, not just in Dayton, all over, that don't realize that preschool can start at the age of 3. And when we do ice cream truck deliveries throughout the city, and every year, I bet you, we've been doing them for 3 years. I bet we find 5 or 6 little ones. And let's say Joe comes out with a little, and we're like, hey, how old's that? How old's little Joey? She's like 3 or 4. Has he been to preschool? No. Why not? I don't know. He just doesn't know.
Right.
So that's the first step.
Did you want to cut him off
No?
with that anecdote?
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Which opens it up for conversation.
That's good. I like
I thank Educate Northern Kentucky
That's
for
great.
bringing this to Dayton. We do have some transient people moving in because now Dayton's a great place to live for your kids because of the school district and stuff. And yes, it is very valuable to have the reading skills going into the school district. So thank you for bringing this to us.
Yeah, I'd also like to say that I volunteered at Lincoln for the reading program for a year, and I'll probably be doing that next year, and yeah, it is a very valuable program. Mm-hmm.
And I do have some information I'm happy to share with Jay and Jay. Some talking points about what is Read Ready that might help.
Great, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. We've had a motion to accept by Member Judd and a second by Member Neary, which opens up for conversation. Any more conversation regarding this resolution of acceptance?
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify, this is a program that's coming into town. What is the objective? How do you find the kids? And what specifically happens? I want to make that clear. I am not chatting. I'm not going on and on. I really want to see what they're doing with these kids. Okay?
They're building partnerships. Like, for an example, they reach out to me. I run Dayton Housing Authority, and so as I move families in, I check that age, and here you go. Here's what we offer here in the city, and that's how we all, and I'm assuming that's what this program is, to now bring the city involved. So we all are on the
We're
same
assuming,
boat.
yes. Okay.
If I understand, I think that's what we're doing, building just the partnership.
Yeah, we're just saying that we are all in this together.
Correct.
And I think the school knows that we're all in this together. I'm a huge fan of pre-K. I know we're pushing it on that on a state level, so we'll do that later. But tonight we have the motion to accept 2025-22 Romeo. A motion to accept by Member Judd. Member Neary is seconded. Any other comments? Member Neiman?
What?
You,
I don't even remember what the heck we're accepting. What are we accepting?
we're accepting it's a resolution of acceptance, basically saying that we support this.
Okay.
I mean, we're not. It's just a motion of support. Roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Neary,
Aye.
Member Neiman,
Aye.
Member Kelly,
Aye.
Member Judd,
Aye.
Member Levens,
Aye.
Member Horton.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Wolf, how was your daughter's event?
It's good. I apologize for being late. My daughter's a sophomore in high school and her very first time playing kind of varsity volleyball game, so
Great. How'd she do?
she did well.
Good.
About an hour into it, she did well.
Well, good.
Always
It's
do better, but good enough.
no, that's just life, man. But well, we're about to discuss your request.
Sure.
Well, let me give a little background about how this
So,
came about,
yeah,
if you
Jay,
don't mind, Mayor. So
floor's
we
yours.
meet every 2 weeks with Rick and his team, our staff, just to work together with the city. How the city and schools work together, how can we improve our parks, things like that. What can we do with terms of construction going on? And it's good. We have a really great meeting. A lot of cities don't have that connection to their school district, which I think is really important. They didn't have it in Covington, some other school districts, I don't think had it in the past, but we have a really good relationship. So a couple weeks ago, he came to me and said, hey, we're getting ready to start school again, and we have concern about safety on Fifth Avenue, and I have an idea, and I'm gonna let him talk about it. And I said, okay, well, let's talk to the mayor about it, and the mayor said, okay, well, it's gonna affect people who live on Fifth Avenue, so I think we need to have a public discussion about it, and that's why you guys are here tonight. So I posted some notices last week, let people know about this, and so what I wanna do is have Rick kind of explain what he's requesting. We have an image here to show you a little bit, and then I think we let the public have their comment time after that. You ready, Rick?
Good traffic right there. I do love that. The field looks the best on all that. So like I said, I apologize for being late. I do appreciate, I do want to reiterate what Mr. Fawcett said. I've not heard, I've talked to many superintendents. I've not heard one superintendent ever say that they meet with their city officials on a regular basis. And so it's more so, I know here in September, we're going to have like a working meeting together. I'm super excited about that, just to hear priorities. And just, as I said to them, you know, we're the two largest. Oh, I can, yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, Rick.
We're the two.
Maybe if you pull the mic up closer to you.
Pull the mic up closer.
Yup.
There we go. How's that?
Better.
All right. I hear you fine, but back in the back.
No, I apologize for that. So, one of the things, you know, the city's been fabulous to work with, and we talk about all things. Well, how can we make all of Dayton better? That's the goal for our kids in our community. One of the things that we have been seeing with Fifth Avenue is with parking angled the way it is, two-way traffic sometimes with our kids, whether it's at not necessarily drop-off because we block it off and it's one way heading towards St. Bernard, but at pickup, cars come down both ways. And then at, I'll say, unstructured events. So every night at 6 o'clock when 21st Century gets out. So we don't really have any admin or anybody out there to direct traffic. Kids are sometimes darting out into the street. My concern with the new field coming into play is the bottleneck that would occur at the corner of Fifth and Clay as people are heading down Fifth, because the way that cars currently park, you back out and you're forced to go down Fifth Avenue to Clay Street. That's also going to be the direction that all the rest of the traffic is coming from the field. We also have the parking lot on the side of Lincoln Elementary School, which all of them are trying to get out as well. Some people are turning right. If they go to turn right and a car's coming down the opposite direction, they have to wait. If they turn left, that causes another bottleneck. So I just brought up to the city officials the potential of making that one-way heading towards St. Bernard, just to get their thoughts. And that's why I'm here tonight, is to get your thoughts to see if that was a possibility. Like I said, in our morning drop-off, we block the street off so cars have to come that way. Kids get out of the car, and I think every school, maybe in America, does it that way. Kids get out of the car right onto the sidewalk. There is no way I would ever approve kids getting out on the other side of the car and running around in front or behind cars. Right now, when it's light out in the morning is one thing, but January, here soon, here in a couple of months, sometimes kids get out of the car and they run. They don't run away, they just are running to school. So if they're getting out on the opposite side, the side of the houses, and they run around, it's sometimes scary. We have about 15 people out there every morning just to make sure, you know, I'm grabbing a hand and I'm handing them off to somebody else. So that's all I talked to the city about, and throw it your guys' way. I'm happy to answer any questions. By no means is Rick Wolf an expert at city streets, right? I wouldn't even say I'm an expert with kids. I love kids, and I feel like I do a decent job with them. But I'm just throwing it to you guys just to get your thoughts and opinion, and I can answer any questions you may have or do my best to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Sure.
So that's Mr. Wolf, and I imagine you speak on behalf of the school, the independent school system.
Yes, yes, I do. Our elementary administration is very much on board to this. They could not be here tonight, but they're very much on board.
That's fair. So he asked that question to the city, and it is our decision whether we do these traffic pattern changes. So I know Mr. Fawcett reached out via flyers on doors to all the neighborhood, and I've received some emails, I've received some calls, some stop you in the middle of the Hansmans and want to talk about it kind of things.
Sure.
So, and then that's what we like. We like public discourse. So, Mr. Wolf, if you wouldn't mind standing back and having a chance for anybody to want to approach the podium to discuss your thoughts on this and how it might impact you. Or maybe you want it.
Mayor, before
Yeah,
we start,
go for it.
just a clarification on your proposal or request here. Are you requesting that Fifth Avenue be turned to one-way westbound 24/7, 365? Or only during school drop-off and pickup times?
So
Yeah,
initially when I.
and Mr. Wolf, please approach. Whenever we're speaking, we got to use these microphones
Sorry about that.
because there's people at home watching and stuff.
I understand. So that was what I initially talked with the city about. My biggest concern is drop-off, pickup, any event that we have, just the bottleneck that it will be caused at the corner of Fifth and Clay Street. So if we could force traffic that way towards St. Bernard, because they go down there, there's going to be, say, 20 to 30 cars parked right next to Lincoln Elementary School. There's going to be 20 to 30 cars parked on Green Devil Lane, and then any car, I don't know how many spots are on Fifth Avenue. All of those cars, if they were all forced, if those 40, 50 people are forced to go, I guess that's westbound, I'm terrible at
Towards
directions.
St. Bernard?
Yeah, towards St. Bernard, yes, towards St. Bernard, and then they can turn right on Berry and go right here, or they can go down, continue down Fifth Street, or they could turn left and go on the avenue. Those are the main concerns.
Well, currently, I believe they go eastbound to drop off the kids, correct? Towards Clay Street?
No, they do not.
No?
No,
So that's the current direction of drop-off?
that is.
And really what the only change, and that's manned by, you put the signage up, school district employees put the signage up during pickup and drop-off hours?
Mhm.
But all the other times, it's open to two-way traffic?
Mhm.
Okay. But you're requesting the city change it to all the time?
Yeah,
So Rick, a question, with the new football field, will that be used for football, during football nights too? That street, for pickup, drop-off, whatever?
No, that will not be.
Okay.
They'll be parking on Green Devil, what's
Okay.
the half of Green Devil. They'll be parking in Lincoln's extra lot. There's 20 to 30
Okay.
spots there. So those spots, and then anybody, obviously, if there's any open spots on Fifth Avenue.
No, I mean traffic. Will traffic be coming down Fifth Avenue onto Green Devil Lane during football games? Will there be drop-offs or anything there, or is that all going to be out on Clay and Ford?
We are going to block off Green Devil just to the
Okay.
officials and school officials.
Okay, that's what I need to
Yeah.
know. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
You need to come up to the microphone, I can't hear you at home.
Yeah, make sure you use mics.
So, in other regards, you're going to force everybody to park in front of our houses whenever, during school time, during games, by shutting down Green Devil Lane just for officials during sporting events?
There we have like 20 spots down Green Devil that there's officials, there's media personnel. Like right now, we block off, at Davis Field, we blocked off right across the railroad tracks, and that's where all those folks would go. Now, we're not, on game nights, we're not going to force them to park on Fifth. We're going to have the Lincoln Elementary lot. A lot of people are going to park down here by the high school. We're just blocking those 15 to 20 spots off for those folks.
How many more parking spots are you going to have in the new parking lot you just did? Do you know how many are going to be there?
We will have roughly 60 spots right in front of Lincoln. So there's the lot that the city owns right next to the high school, and then the other lot that we purchased, which both of those have roughly 30.
Okay.
Lots.
Well, again, Mr. Wolf, what's the problem with the way it is right now that we're trying to address here?
That's kind of why I'm here.
Well,
I mean, you can ask him all you want, but I've been there for 20 years. I've lived
Hold
there
on,
for...
do we say names and addresses anymore?
Mark Collins, 714 Fifth Street.
Appreciate you.
I've lived there 20 years. I'm speaking for a lot of the people that are here tonight. I live directly in front of the doors to elementary, Lincoln. They blocked the street off at about 7:30. All right, we know this. Everybody that's a resident there knows that they block the street off at 7:30. So most of us try not to leave until 8:05, 8:10, when all the kids are in the school. They block the end of the street off over by Barry, so no one can come in the afternoon. But we're the only ones that ever ask to come in because we're going to our homes. That's the only time that anybody ever comes in the wrong way unless someone else lets them in. As residents there, you're changing our whole traffic pattern, our whole lively, the way we've lived for 7:45, 7:35 till about 8:05 in the morning, and then from 2:45 till about 3:05 is the only time kids get picked up. So you're wanting to change everything around for almost an hour and 15 minutes a day, not even a full year. For what, 180 days a year that they're in school? But you're wanting to change everything for every resident that lives there. It's bad enough half time we can't find a place to park in front of our houses because they got teachers that park in front of our houses, which we've all dealt with that for years. It's a bummer. It's terrible. And they don't have no consideration either. I've sent emails, I've sent texts, I've talked to them. They'll send out a thing, they won't park there for a couple days. After a couple days, they're back there. Then you get tired of sending stuff. But the traffic pattern is not a problem. I've been there 20 years, never seen a kid be hit. Never even seen an instant where they're almost hit. All the residents know. The only thing they gotta do is keep out the people that don't live. It's not an issue. It hasn't been an issue for 20 years. Now they're making an issue out of something I think that's not an issue. It's just our opinion. It's everybody's opinion. It's not just mine. Otherwise, we wouldn't all be here to voice our opinion.
How many signatures did you get on this?
I think there's 54. 58.
There's no total. Okay.
Yeah, there's like 58.
Thank
And
you,
it
sir.
also affects St. Bernard's. I mean, it don't just affect us, it affects everybody that goes to St. Bernard's Church too. And the way they deal with the things they do, they're different things.
So how does it inconvenience you if he gets what he's asking for? You
Any
got-
of the kids,
No, how does it inconvenience you if he gets what he asked for?
because I have to go around the block every
All the
time I
way.
come home. It's just too convenient to turn left at Berry and pull right into my house. And then they want us to all back into our street instead of pulling in. It's not fair to the residents. We found out 5 days ago that this was all happening. This wasn't brought to any resident. Not one time was it brought to any resident's attention, which I think was kind of wrong. The
Mark, that's
principal-
not true. I brought it to your attention, and also we made sure that we put posting on every
The
door.
school has not brought it to our attention.
Thank you.
The school has not brought it to our attention. I live right across the street. I see the principal, the vice principal, many people every day of the week. Not one person said, hey, what do you guys think? I think it's just a courtesy thing that, I mean, we live there, ask us. Maybe we can give you an opinion or, hey, will you guys please not come in during these hours? But no one's ever, did anything for us as far as ask us. And it's nothing against the school. I'm totally supportive of the school in many ways. I just feel it's not right for them to change a traffic pattern for a whole 360 days a year for 180 days for an hour a day. It's just my opinion. It's a lot of people's opinion, so I'll let it go at that and let other people.
And when you approach, name and address, please.
Yeah. My name's Nick Bettinghouse. I own 726 Fifth Avenue. And I think Mark pretty much voiced for the most part, but I want to know what the school board thinks is going to be the smart move. Because I work 5 until 2:30. I will be home right around 3 o'clock when everybody is trying to pick up their children. If we do this right here, I'm going to have to wait in the school pickup line and then throw my car in reverse and then expect everyone in the line behind me to back up and give me space to park. I don't think that that's any safer of an option. everybody knows throwing your car in reverse is going to be severely limited. If, God forbid, somebody were running and not watching where they were going, there's too many blind spots if you're trying to pull into your house. It's significantly much more unsafer. Sorry, that, I think my point has been made.
Thank you.
Do you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I think so.
Thank you.
The way you'd have to accommodate that would make it a more dangerous situation than the situation that exists right now.
You use your words much better than me. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Trish Messman, I live at 627 Fourth. I worked in the St. Bernard office for 9 years, and now I volunteer at the St. Bernard Pantry and with St. Vincent de Paul for St. Bernard. It's only going to be from Clay to Green Devil Lane, right? All the way to Barry?
All the way to Barry.
Okay, I work at the pantry, so I guess my concern is, it's always been a problem, it's been a severe problem with parents who want to drop their kids off coming through the Berry Street driveway of St. Bernard and coming out the driveway on the dog leg there of Fifth, or vice versa. But the problem I have is they race through there, they want to drop their kids off, they park in the whole area between the buildings of St. Bernard. There's the pantry going on. People are getting out of their cars to get groceries. I'm worried about if they're coming through there, they're going to cut through St. Bernard because there's going to be so much traffic that they're going to want to cut through ours so they can get to Berry quicker. I've seen kids almost get hit in there because they race through and don't stop. We have people getting groceries. We have old people going to church, people walking back and forth in that whole area constantly. And now they just park in there because the parking is more limited. So they'll just park all over in there. They'll park in the driveways and go pick up their kids. I've had this problem for a long time, and I'm worried there's going to be less places for them to park to get their kid. And it's just really an issue. They now come up and they park in the grass over heading toward the fields. They actually just pull in and park there. I've had to ask them to stop parking in the driveways, but they just say, I'm picking up my kids, and they don't move. But it's just a real problem, and I'm worried the traffic, without it going both ways, is going to make them come more into those driveways and cause problems, and more parking in there where we only have, I don't know, 6 parking spots. So they'll just come and park all over. And then with the pantry, they'll block the people trying to get in there and pick up their food.
And then, can I make a comment for
Sure.
you? And if we was to close that off and make it a one-way, it's going to become an issue because I live right next door to her. If there's a funeral,
Oh,
and that
Yeah.
whole street right there,
Right.
it is blocked off with the hearse,
right,
that whole person, it is what it is.
right.
So that means you're now gonna make it very complicated for one way in and one way out only.
Right.
If
Because you'll
there
have
is
the
a
main
funeral,
family
and there are
and the
quite a
hearse.
bit.
Right, and the families will park for the
Correct.
funeral. Yeah,
And at that time, you make it only one way,
yeah. That's just very difficult with,
it's gonna be a mess.
right.
Well,
And
it is currently one way at pickup and drop-off hours, not 20.
We do it 24 hours,
Right.
365
Right, and that was my
days.
previous question.
Correct.
Right.
And everyone has accommodated to that 1 hour in the morning and that
Right.
1 hour in the day, and it seems to work.
Mhm.
But I have a gentleman that has worked with me, and if he doesn't get out of that house by 7:30, I know not to expect him until 8:15, because he can't get out of his house to come to work.
Right.
Vice versa. You either leave your job and get home by 3, or you're not leaving until after 3 to get home, because we
Right.
know that 15, 20-minute delay. But to do it all day, every day, I think it's gonna cause a bigger issue
And I think it-
for others.
Only being one way, it's going to slow down, it cause more of a congestion, I think, coming through there. Plus, all the people that are going to for some unknown reason, come through the driveways of St. Bernard, in between the buildings, it's gonna back up there. And I have had people come up the Berry side driveway to get their food, and they can't leave. So they have to do a dangerous turnaround where there's other people getting their groceries, and kids leaving school who walk through there. And then they have to walk down the driveway, and people are, it's just chaos and very dangerous. So I think it's just gonna get worse with less, I don't know. I think people are gonna use it more, the driveways more, and make it more difficult just coming through there. I think it's just gonna get worse and limit the traffic. So they're gonna wanna come into St. Bernard Park, and it's only this big, you know? So that's what I'm thinking. But
I've got a question for Mark, Mr. Donnelly. You being living there for 25 years, what's a good solution for you? What would be, I mean, if you're the expert here, what would be the good solution for maybe the Dayton Independent Schools District could get a little bit, or, I mean, what could be a good happy medium?
I don't see where there was a problem before. Like I said, I've been here 20 years. I've never seen a kid even close to being hit by this whole issue. I think they're creating something that's not there.
Okay.
They put cones out so that the other traffic could go the other way. To me, the cones are actually more in the way than they are to help, because everybody's trying to avoid the cones and they're scared both ways.
Yeah.
Maybe give something to put on your windshield or something like that, so they know you're a resident, that if you're coming the other way, you're the only one out. All the residents know to watch out for the kids at certain times of the day. I'm the one that Jess was talking about, that if I wasn't gone by 7:30, I wouldn't go to work till 8:15 because I didn't want to leave. You know, I mean, that's just how it was. I just always waited. And most people do. But there is times you have to get to your house. I mean, you have no choice. And most of the time, I still try to get there by 5 till 3 before the kids actually start walking out.
That's the reason why I asked you. I had written down like resident parking passes, or maybe
Yeah,
code
maybe.
enforcement could get involved with it, you know, like that could give, you know, that's why I asked, is there anything that we could possibly
As
do?
you're speaking, that would be a super thing to think about, though,
Yeah.
a resident parking pass, because there's 24 spots and there's 16 houses. 24 spots, 16 houses. Green Devil Lane's all listed as private. They got the principal, they got the vice principal. Everybody got their own special spots over there. You know, they got their names on them and everything else all highlighted ready. That's their spots. None of us have any private spots, but they all got private spots for the principals and everybody else.
Is there any way that we could, like, I mean, this is just a suggestion, that we could come together, you guys come together as a committee, and then we could work something with Dayton schools that is viable for them and viable for you guys, because you guys live there, and I think that you guys should have say in the matter,
You
in
know
my
what? I
opinion.
think the residents would be okay as long as they didn't shut it off full time.
Yeah, like I say, we could be like during school time.
7:30 to 3. Actually, everybody's going by 3 o'clock, but I mean, you could actually drive through there at 3 o'clock. So 7:30 to 3, one way, maybe. If you give us resident parking only. Resident parking only in that area.
And Tara said it's a good question, and huge alumni. I live on 4th Street, so I'm a few houses away from this corner. I also work on Clay Street. I love my school. I love my city. I have spent 17 years in that pickup line. To be fair, those parking spots in front of their houses should be designated for residents only.
think that's what I
And I know, because I'm the queen of sending the same emails, you know I love you, Wolf, and you know I love Brewer. I have the same issue. People do what they want. And as residents, homeowners, there is no parking. And unfortunately, no matter how many times you yell, your teachers park there. I could do it all day long. I could give you plates if I wanted. So to be fair on both parts, because I love school, I love our residents, I have driven that line for way too many years. All of the parking spot on 5th should be residents only. And there should be no teacher whatsoever. Each one of them line it up. If you don't have that sticker, they should be towed. And then on the flip side, to be fair, they're already dealing and accepting with, you close it for 40 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes, and the same. If there's an event, they would accommodate it. Because on the flip side, we've protected them by letting them at least park in front of their house. And I know we all say, no, no one's gonna do this. I've lived it. And I still live it.
Well, the way he's got it set up is the one way. If you come home and the pickup lines are sitting there, you have to sit in the pickup line. Them lines can be pretty long. I'm not sitting in that line. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna throw my car in park and I'm walking to the house. And that car's gonna sit there. I'm not gonna do it. And I don't think any of our other people really wanna sit in that line. It's that line, because the biggest problem I see a lot of times is when cars are sitting in that line, once they get their Joe or their Johnny or their Susie, they wanna go around the car in front of them. That's what they wanna do. So they wanna get their kid and they wanna go around. Well, you are supposed to sit and wait in that line. I did for years. Well, I didn't because my kid walked across the street. But it's dangerous. You know what I mean? So once they get their kid, and if you make it one way, that allows them to be able to do that. It's still dangerous. You're not wanting us to come this way, but you wanting, once they pick up their kid, to go around them. That's just as dangerous as two-way traffic.
Now, Mr. Dowling, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, all you want.
If the city made every one of that residential parking, and so that you know you're always gonna have that parking spot, which is an ease, let's say 735 hits and it turns into a one-way for a very short amount of time, they probably would be okay to wait an extra 3 minutes because they at least know they're gonna have a spot. Right now, it's a race between time because they don't have parking spots. They now have to try to beat the crazy parents that's picking up the kids, and then what are they gonna do? They line up and take every parking spot, and it becomes chaotic.
Would it create a problem for that guy, like he said, would he have to back into his parking spot if it's a one-way, or
That'd
would
be
he
horrible.
be? I mean,
Horrible. You ever see my wife back up? It would not be good. You're best off just leave it the way it is.
But you know what I mean? Like if we gave a certain portion, because they've already suffered enough. I know, because again,
Okay, what about changing it to the one-way all the time instead of the, what
no, that would not be fair to the residents either.
Okay.
So I
That's what
think
he's
for
asking for,
everyone to
though.
win.
Am I
understand that.
correct? That's what he's asking?
That's what he's asking for,
Okay.
is one way all the time. And all we're asking for is keep it the way it is and give us resident parking.
Okay, Mr. Wolf, I had a question. I don't know if you have to get in front of here, but he said there's never been an accident with a kid, and this is not dangerous. We haven't had any issues in 20 years. What has changed that you're requesting that we make this change?
That's what I said. This is not bothering me at all. This happens all the time, right? This is good. I know it is an inconvenience. You know, it is an inconvenience for the citizens living across from the elementary school during those drop-off times and pickup times.
Is it true, though, there have been no accidents or no?
I don't know. I don't know that. I've been working in the district office for 15 years.
Okay, so why are you
So,
asking for this change?
So our big concern, one of our big concerns is with the additional traffic that will be coming into Dayton at events, just all the traffic, like I said, if you're parked in the lot next to Lincoln, if you're on Fifth Avenue, if you're on Green Devil, if everyone's heading that direction, and maybe it's something that we wait and see what happens.
Events
I
like the
didn't
new
go to-
football
I didn't
field? Do
go
you mean like
to
that?
the-
Like football?
Yeah, when I brought
Okay.
this up to the city officials, it wasn't like, hey, let's change this tomorrow. Like, it was just a discussion point to bring
It
up
was
there.
a conversation.
It's just a conversation, that's all it is.
Okay.
It's not that I'm like, this needs to happen before school starts tomorrow. No, I just wanted to bring it up for conversation and discussion and see how things work out. And maybe we try one time to, August 29th, there's going to be maybe more people at the Dayton football game that's ever been. Maybe we work with the city and have police presence and make sure that night that it's one way going that way, just to see how that helps traffic. I'm open to
That's a
suggestions.
totally different ballgame.
Yeah,
A one-night thing is no big deal. You make it one night because of a game, I'm okay with that. The residents would all be okay with the one-night thing, but you're wanting to change it 360 days a year, 24 hours a day, which doesn't feel, That's what we don't feel is right.
If I could jump in here, and I know that there's other people waiting to talk also, and I figure since your names were on the petition, you have the same feelings about this. We're not going to vote on this tonight, all right? School starts tomorrow. You've got new people dropping off kids. You got kids that don't want to get out of the car because they don't want to go back to school. Green Devil Lane has changed since last year. It's going to be a major snafu, and especially in inclement weather when it's raining. You get people trying to get their kids out of the car right out the door. They won't get out early. I've been down there a couple mornings and afternoons watching. And now we have the football stadium down there, which is, as you said, going to be an events issue. We hear about the complaints about where's the parking now. I think we need to wait a month at least to get through the opening of school, get through the first couple of home games of soccer and football. Everybody's going to want to go to the new football stadium at first. It's going to be nuts. I don't think we can make any decision here tonight, but what I would suggest is to consider the residents down there, the 24 parking spaces, and how it would impact them. A 24/7 would be definitely a negative impact. But I think all of us need to consider in the next month, do we take this on? How can we help add extra resources down there to control the traffic? We've already spent a lot of time and money. We got Route 8 moved. Instead of coming down Clay to 4th Street, now it goes down to Main Street to 4th Street to get it away from the school complex. We spent a lot of money on sidewalks on Berry Avenue between 6th and 5th. We've made 6th and Berry a 4-way stop to encourage kids to walk to school more, to reduce this traffic problem. I would like to propose, and again, if you want to give your 2 cents, I'm perfectly willing on that, but we're not going to vote on this tonight.
Okay.
I would like to hear from
I
them,
agree
though. I want
with-
to hear from them.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead,
Yeah,
Tara.
let's discuss.
I was just saying, I would like to hear from the residents. They've taken their
Yeah,
time to
exactly.
be here, so I'd like for them to speak their piece.
Absolutely.
Name and address, please.
Howdy, I'm Wes Yantz. I live at 502 Clay Street. That's on the corner there of 5th and Clay. So yeah, when I heard about this originally, I thought you guys were going to direct traffic the other way because that's the way all the parking is. And when they signed the petition, I was like, oh, I'll sign the petition for the traffic to go the other way because that makes sense. That's the way you pull in. That's the way you park. I get you don't want the kids hopping out of the car and running around the car, but you know, it's just the way that the street's designed right now goes the other way. Coming home, if you you turn left there and then it's 2 rights, which is much safer instead of trying to go left at Hansman and then a left onto 5th Avenue across 2 really busy streets. A left turn across traffic is always a little bit more dicey. That's where accidents happen. I live on that corner. I've seen accidents happen. It's a busy street. I'm glad, I didn't know you guys changed the Main Street route. That'll be nice. I see those trucks going all the time back and forth. So, but yeah, it's just, and then throw on top of that, like having to back into your spot every day instead of being able to pull in. If we were to do this, you need to reorient the parking spots in that case to go the other direction, which feels like it's kind of a pain. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Name and address, neighbor.
Ben Baker's neighbor. Carol Boami, 421-6, and I'm a parishioner at St. Bernard. And I appreciate all the neighbors coming here and bringing this to our attention. We just found out about it Friday afternoon. And it would affect the neighbors significantly, but also would affect all of the parishioners at St. Bernard. I mean, we have 2 accesses and we have very little parking. And as Trish had said, that most people come in from the 5th Street entrance and go out the Berry Street exit. And the pantry would be very congested doing it the opposite, because then what if someone from the east side of Dayton comes to the pantry and they're coming the one way they want to do it and come up the 5th Street driveway, but the west side people are forced down Berry and come up the other driveway, then there's collision. So that's very hectic. When we have deliveries, we have semis coming for our fish fries. They would not be able to make that turn 5th and into the Green Devil and turn around to go back. It just would be terrible for our Lenten fish fry deliveries. Like you had mentioned for funerals, funerals would be terrible. The parking is already bad. I mean, I know this council isn't for the parking, it's for the direction. Parking is a whole other issue. And I think the school board has created this whole problem, their own problem, by cutting off Green Devil Lane, because that would have been a thoroughfare to alleviate some of this traffic. So they've created this congestion problem, and they want to put the congestion on the residents by making it better for them. I just think it would be a safety issue and inconvenience to make that hall one way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Paul Myers here, 807 6th Avenue, Dayton. I'm kind of echoing what Carol said here, too. I'm St. Bernard. Matter of fact, you guys got warnings, Route 8 went in front of my house before I even knew it. They were putting up signs. I don't think this is a 24/7 thing. I think it's a give and take thing. Maybe they do need some leverage in front of the school for pickups and stuff. I know the city got a lot of COVID money. I think maybe some flashing lights at maybe Fifth and Berry, like during the times of drop-offs and pickups, to keep people from driving down that way, to keep it one way, just for the drop-offs and pickoff times. That may alert cars from not going down that way, just for a period of 15, 20 minutes, whatever, to keep them from going down that way. That'd be all you need. This isn't a 365-day thing, you know? Really, it isn't. I suggest you vote nay on this thing. Mr. Wolf, what part of town do you live in here?
I do not live in town.
Huh?
I do not live in town.
Oh, so you don't have to live here with us? Oh, okay. So that may be one element to it too, you know? We have to live with it. I've been in this town for 40-plus years, and I've never seen anything like this before. It's worked without an accident before I've ever seen. My kids went to St. Bernard, but I'd never seen any kids from Lincoln down there ever hit or the high school either. Thank you. Vote nay on this.
I'm up here knocking on wood every time someone says that. So let's quit saying that.
It's my last thing, I promise. Can we put that up to a vote or something like that about the parking? About maybe making it a residential parking?
Like 30
Can you
day, I
put
think,
that
I
out
mean,
for a vote tonight?
I think we should, I don't
I
know.
think we
if-
need to do some research on
No,
that.
I think, Mark, it'd be prudent to let council think about that more
It's
than
on the table
just in the
though
last
for you.
hour.
You got it now, right? So it's on the table, you guys will talk about it and discuss it?
Yeah, we can talk about it, yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, we
Mark,
also
you
have to-
want to add new business, and you want to add this as new business, making that residential parking under new
All right.
business.
I gotta tell them that? I wanna make this new business of adding residential parking to Fifth Street, between Clay Street and Berry.
I will put it on new business that council discusses and brings it up next time. Yes,
Well,
sir.
We would also have to put in place enforcement, fines, coordination with police, et cetera, before we would roll anything like that out.
Yeah, it's not as easy as we'd all like it to be.
Can I ask a question of the residents? If we did like approve like residential parking, would you guys as residents be willing to do like a roving parking parking attendant during school hours to make sure that parking roads smoothly? I mean, that could be something that we could work out to like you guys get
Who's
parking.
paying for the parking attendant?
No, volunteer. No, they would volunteer. Like if we could potentially give them parking permits, could they, as residents, come together and do volunteer parking attendance? They volunteer their parking attendant time. I've seen it work in other communities. That's the only reason I brought it up.
That's
where
why
the
we added new
where the
business.
residents would do the parking attendance during the time of the pickup and the drop off for the students and they work it out agreement with the Dayton School Independent School System, and they work it out with the residents, and you guys come to a happy medium. That's what this is. To me, that's what I appreciate all you guys for being here, because leaving a decision up to us without having your input, we don't know where to come from. We're just gonna. I mean, I would just went with the city. With the Dayton school system. But you guys being here makes a big difference. But it's going to be up to you guys to follow through and not just say, "Hey, this is what we want." You guys will probably have to come through with some action yourself.
So if you tell somebody they can't park there, you're gonna have to put your body in that spot, because they're gonna park there. They're not gonna listen to us, they're gonna say, well, who are you?
All right, anybody else I don't think we're going to make a vote on this tonight. I think we all have a concession, or is a conversation. The school has made their recommendation and what they would like. I think the residents of that neighborhood have made their point clear, the church and everyone else. So we got some time to mull over it. We have some time to watch what happens in the next exciting few weeks when we're opening up the new stadium. So would anybody else like to address with any new ideas or anything else? Or yes, sir?
David Halbert, 718 Fifth. In my opinion, one of the biggest solutions for the flow of traffic that they're requesting would be to take their sidewalk out that's currently there. Right now it measures, I think, like 15 feet wide. That's how wide the sidewalk is on the city or on the school side. You take 6 foot of it, flip it to the back side where they're getting ready to remove all the trees. You pour another lane of blacktop down that side. That gives you 3 lanes of traffic coming down Fifth Avenue. The students then could come the one way that they're requesting, and then that still leaves you your 2 lanes of traffic for the residents that live there.
Okay, so you're suggesting that they remove
So
portion of their sidewalk
portion of their sidewalk,
to make another lane.
flip that portion of sidewalk that they're removing to the back side of the sidewalk that is currently there. That would still give them their 12 or 15 feet of sidewalk that they have.
Well, that's
No,
a big move.
substantial- I understand that's a substantial move.
Yeah, that's different than changing some signs. But
if they
but
want
you're
the
offering
safety-
different ideas.
Yes, if they're looking for the safety of the children,
Okay, well,
that would give them their leeway and not affect everybody else also.
understood, and I appreciate bringing new ideas.
And not to drag this out any further, but Mr. Wolf, how many kids at Lincoln ride in the front seat? A lot, even though they're not supposed to be?
So short.
Because my thought was, why not make it eastbound? And they can get out on the passenger side in the back, and that doesn't interfere with it. You have it closes one way, do not enter at Clay. Pardon me? No, just during school hours, during pickup and drop off. I think the 24/7 is off the table.
You must not
actually.
know what the shotgun rule is, bud.
Pardon me?
You must not know what the shotgun roll is.
Shotgun.
Yep. Who can get to that front seat?
That's, yes. All right, any other discussion regarding this? Obviously, this is not something we're going to move on tonight. I think we're deep into a discussion on this, which I love. But is there any other comments, thoughts regarding? I think we all know where we stand. All right, well, Mr. Wolf, I appreciate. Hey, what else you got going on this week, Mr. Wolf?
School, senior sunrise, 6:30 a.m.
All right, school starts tomorrow?
School starts tomorrow. Senior sunrise, 6:30 on the football field, so I'm gonna head out.
I think you know we're all Green Devils, buddy.
breakfast, sir? Somewhat, well, not me.
As I just said, I think we all in this building, in this city, in this zip code, we're all Green Devils, and we all want what's best for the kids. And we'll work together. That's what we do. All right, moving right along. We're going to do Department Director's monthly reports. It's been a long night, so we're going to go ladies first. Ms. Patterson with Code Enforcement, please. If anybody needs a restroom break or something, we can take a 3 or 4 minute break if anybody needs.
We could.
Good.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure everyone's taken care of.
All right, you have a copy of my report. Also, I'd like to let you know that Bill has so far,
All right, so they can hear you on the YouTubes? All right. He's our sound guy.
Okay. So you have a copy of my report. Rental inspections are moving along. He's done 79 so far since it started back. That's about it, really. It's grass is growing.
Grass is growing.
Grass is growing. Yeah,
Happens to all of us.
yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you,
Alright.
Ms. Patterson. Any
Thanks.
questions for Ms. Patterson?
Thank you.
I asked Ms. Patterson earlier, because something came up on Facebook in the past 2 days, questioning about who's responsible for cutting grass and getting dirt from the fire hydrants.
And the fire chief is gonna do a little,
He's got a
Report on
presentation
that.
with colors.
he has a presentation. on
Great,
that.
thank you.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So we could let him go next.
Well, any other questions for Ms.
I
Patterson?
did have one for
Is the
Cassie.
sidewalk coming down from 10th a code thing or a public works thing?
What do you mean?
The
The stairs?
condition, the condition, yeah, the stairs.
Oh, the stairs?
Yeah.
You mean like cleaning it or?
There's some broken poles.
So
I'm wondering who's in charge.
Rick's going to talk about that.
Okay.
He's contacted Meadow Solutions. They're putting together
Okay.
a proposal.
Great.
Cassie, I had a question over here. I wanted to, the people having their dogs go to the bathroom in the Gilliland Park is becoming a big problem. It's something maybe we could work on in the next 30, 40 days, like coming up with some kind of
I
ordinance.
know it's a problem. We do have citations for that. Unfortunately, it's really hard to catch them.
How, is it any way possible we can incentivize the residents to turn people in? I mean, is that something we could do? Or, I mean, I don't know.
I
We
don't
really
think
have to see-
so.
We do have cameras. We have to see whether they're focused on that area of the park, but we can maybe, use cameras. We got to catch them in the act, and you really can't have people turn
Yeah.
evidence on somebody else.
When we
almost have to
first
see
got
it.
the citations, I went down a couple days, like super early, because I know Rick had some complaints. And I don't know if they knew who I was or if they were just kind of like leery, but they did pick up, their dog feces. So it's tough. If you see them in the act, then I can write a citation, but without seeing them actually doing it. you can't
Are there
really-
a lot of garbage cans down there?
Yes,
there-
Yeah.
and they're doggy bags.
Okay.
So, I
These
mean,
are
there's
residents just
really,
letting their dogs go, and they're using the bathroom in the park, and then there's football practice afterwards, and the kids are having to navigate themselves around that, and the geese. I mean, so it's just, it's an unfortunate situation. I know it's temporary, but, it's kind of, when you see it happening in the act, and you don't want to say, hey, I'm going to tell on you, but I mean, I just want to know if there's something that we could do, or something that we can maybe team up with on getting the word out there that it's a criminal, not a criminal offense, it's a finable offense.
we do have that.
Okay.
We probably
Yeah.
ought to put a sign ups down there. I mean, people are using that as a dog park because it's all enclosed with chain link fence.
Yeah.
And so we don't really have a dog park in the city, so that's kind of the de facto one. Now eventually we crack down on Monument Park.
Right.
too.
Oh, yeah, you weren't talking about Monument Park?
No, you're
I'm talking
they're
about
talking
Gilliland. I'm
about
talking about
Gilliland.
Gilliland.
Gilliland,
Yes.
okay.
Right
Okay.
here, right
Are
here.
there dog bags down at Gilliland? I don't
don't
think
think
there
so.
are there?
Oh,
Are
are.
there? Okay,
Yeah, we got some down there.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, actually, on the baseball field is what I'm talking about, like where the kids
Sure.
practice football. That's the
Sure.
area of
Yeah.
concentration. I mean, I'm seeing it myself. I'm seeing the chatter from the parents. I'm seeing the actual kids having to practice on it. And I know that there was a effort for Monument Park that worked out well. So that's why I was asking the question about Gilliland Park, if we could do a push to get that.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, and we can alert the police department also has the citations, so we can kind of let them keep an eye on it as well. I'll send out an email tomorrow morning and kind of just let people know that, keep an eye out there.
Okay. Thank you.
What did you say about Monument Park? Did you say it's a de facto dog park now because of the fence? Or what happened?
No. He said this is starting to be a dog park
Okay.
because of the fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then-
but we did have a problem at Monument Park as well. Like, when Rick would cut it, it would be,
Gross. Are there bags there?
That's
Yes.
gotten better.
Okay.
but
That's
I
gotten a
think-
lot
I think
better
the problem's
since,
down here
we
now.
got new
Because a lot of people
residents.
walk their dogs along
Yes.
the trails and they go down there.
Yeah, it's a problem in
Also
every,
the, Great
every
Dane
public
issue.
space, every
Yeah.
park, every public space.
yeah.
Not
You see-
every public space has kids playing football, and that's the only reason I wanted to raise the
Right.
awareness. I mean, this is not, I mean, I get it, every place has it, but we have kids,
Sure.
hundreds of kids down there
Sure.
playing
Part of
on
it
feces.
too is just, like, it kind of just has to be an example by a community members themselves as well. Like,
Yes.
if people are always picking up after their dogs, you really stand out when you're not the one picking up after your dog.
Right.
And, that tends to go further, than, like she's saying, you can't necessarily catch somebody for a citation, but, your neighbor can give you the stink eye.
Yeah.
And that will cause you to pull that bag out of your pocket.
Maybe we need a
So-
poop cam with
Yeah.
public shaming.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. Tony, I know you look like you're ready to roll, but she called it. So I'm just going to, Chief Schaefer, first of all, I want to, we had a fire today down on Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
It displaced a family. There's some folks in the hospital, and I was there after they were putting it out. We have a great team of firefighters that take care of the families here in Dayton. They do a good job, and thank you for your work today, sir.
Don't thank the guys. It was pretty amazing. I think it was less than 20 minutes from the time we got the call till the bulk of that was knocked down. It wasn't an easy one to do. So we got guys. I mean, they train every day. They take pride in their training, and this was an example of why they do it. So the outcome wasn't what everybody would have wanted. That was before we got there. So our thoughts definitely go out with the families. But thank you.
Thank you, sir.
With that being said, everybody has my report. Just real quick, last month we made 187 responses, 7 inspections. Once again, our training, we're cumulative, we're over close to 1,200 hours of training so far this year. We have 2 new paramedics. One's a firefighter EMT, already doing his prerequisites for paramedic class next year. Logan Nance, he's then a new one, firefighter medic Steve Knuckles. Actually, yesterday was his first shift, so he got trial by fire, literally. But no, they're both completed their orientation. They're on shift, out on the streets, doing great. We're working with Newport Fire Department, the training center we have down on 3rd Street. They have a spot there by their old salt barn on 6th and Wildcat. We're hopefully Monday, we have that scheduled, should be moved there. So we're gonna go make it a joint venture on that. So we work together, train together, and the location's perfect for both of us. So that's exciting. We're looking forward to doing that. And then I don't know if everybody's aware or not, we did end up selling our boat. We got out of the boat business. Ludlow Fire bought that, and so that is now theirs.
It's the best day of your life, right?
It's first day and last day.
That's right. The day you buy a boat, the day you sell a boat.
Yep. But no, they're excited to have it. We're excited for them to have it. So. And then, so now with that, I know there's been discussion of fire hydrants. And for the record and going on record, I have not received one call, one question from anybody other than a few council people, and nobody from Facebook or anybody like that has reached out to me. But a lot of people, when talking to a few people, they weren't really aware of the issues with the hydrants. Number one, the fire hydrants are Northern Kentucky Water District's fire hydrants. They're there, as far as the water district's concerned, those are plugs that they can flush lines and keep it running. They allow us to use them for fire hydrants. They go, Northern Kentucky Water District flows them and tests them twice a year. With that being said, we as a fire department have no obligation to do any of that. When you see us out, so we'll go out in the fall after they do their flushing in the fall. And we go, and that's just to make sure they're ready for us. We spot check hydrants to check the flow on them. All of the hydrants, we're the ones that put the little stickers on them. The flyer I handed out, people weren't aware of what the colors of fire hydrants meant. We just take it for granted and think everybody knows that. So this is, this shows you what the colors mean that are on the caps of the hydrants. Water district doesn't do that, that's up to us. So we check the flows, we go put the caps on, and what we're doing in the fall after they flow them, we go back and we check them and make sure that they drain. All hydrants are supposed to self-drain. If they don't drain, we pump them to make sure that we have hydrants that work in the wintertime. The ones that still, after they're pumped, don't drain, then we give the water district a list, and they service and take care of them. And on top of that, we study. I mean, we have a list, and we study what color hydrants are where. And I know the one hydrant that's in question is up off Dayton Pike. And yes, it is very low to the ground. Been that way for several years, but it's still functional. At the end of the day, though, it's a red hydrant. That's gonna be a last resort before we use that anyhow, because there's not enough water in it. Like I said, it shows a red hydrant's anything under 499 gallons a minute. Our hand lines, people don't know, they flow 185 gallons a minute themselves. So a red hydrant doesn't do much for us. We have plans for that. We'll come down from Rose or Chateau if we need to, or we can lay up from 7th. I mean, we're aware of this. But even with that being said, we only use the steamer connection in the front. And if the hydrant that was the issue that they're considering low, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it can still be used by us. That hydrant every year is touched 3 times, twice by the water district and once by us. And we have a good enough relationship with the water district. If it was a blue or green hydrant that was a priority, we would call them and it would be fixed tomorrow. We've called them, they know about it. It's not a priority to us and it's not a priority to them. It works if we need it, and there's more important. We would rather we still have some 2-tip bourbon hydrants. People don't know what those are. There's still 3 or 4 of them. I mean, we would rather have them replaced with a nice 5-inch connection that we can use, and they work on that as opposed to these. But at the end of the day, just a little history or a little lesson on what fire hydrants are and how they work and what we do with them. I don't know of a specific law. I've tried to look. I didn't have much time as far as what you're obligated to take care of. At the end of the day, if there's a hydrant in your yard or in your area and we need it, we'll get to it. And if we have to spend 5 minutes with a shovel getting to this hydrant, that's 5 minutes more your house is gonna burn, just at the end of the day. It's kind of an up to you. We're not making anybody do anything. We're not asking anybody to do any extra work. If you would like to keep that easily accessible for us, that cuts down on the time for us getting water to our trucks. And, I don't think there's any mandate anywhere mandating anybody to do any maintenance or anything on their hydrant. But if there's a hydrant in the city that you see that, you don't feel, call the department. We want to know this. And, if it's not the answer you want, that we looked at it and it's fine, then call back and we can have another discussion. But we'd be more than happy to go look at hydrants. Other questions?
That was an excellent education. I had not known all the different color coding hydrants. I did not know this stuff, so thank you very much, Chief.
What's the little mnemonic device you said earlier today about the...
Oh, blue's beautiful, green's good, orange is okay, red's rotten, and black don't worry about.
All right, man.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service. Lieutenant Baldwin, great, we got a duo, tag team. Also, a very hard-working team there.
Right hand. So everybody has a copy of Chief Halfwell's report. I didn't really get a chance to look over it too much. Been kind of busy the past few days. So try and answer any questions if you have regarding the report.
I like that there's now a section on there for Sixton Berry stop sign. with
Oh, yeah.
4
Oh,
patrols
that's a
on there.
moneymaker, baby.
That's Joe Neri section.
No.
Yeah, your increasing council pay is coming from there.
I stop and wave at that camera every time.
All fingers?
All fingers, yes.
So the only thing I had to bring up is we did get approved for the Kentucky Highway Safety Grant.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Signed that this morning.
I provided Garrett with a copy of it this morning, and we discussed some things regarding it. We were awarded $5,500. So that's through a campaign that starts October 1st and September 30th of next year, which at another time we will reapply for a grant. Depending on how we do with the grant and our stats and so forth, we could probably get more funding next year, next fiscal year, however they do it. We also do have opportunities with this grant as far as trying to request some additional equipment, which the Highway Safety NHTSA will provide to us, which is like radars, PBTs, things that are regarding to traffic enforcement. There are a few other grants I was talking to Jared about today that we have in the works. We were actually just awarded another one for what we call as a ballistic helmet. It's a level 3A, which is the same as our vest. It's through the Kentucky Attorney General's office. I also have, what did I tell you, what was it, three additional grants pending them right now, which would include what we call as an extended outer carrier with the thicker plates that actually stop more of a higher grade, a grain of ammunition. And we also put in for some ballistic shields, which hopefully we get those because they are very nice, and we can actually be able to stick one of them on school for the school resource officer to have as his own resource. Any questions about the grants that we're looking into? No? Okay. So this is my little event coordinator here. He does a great job of it. I mean, I get amazed at everything he comes up and wants to talk to me and Chief about things he wants to do and things he wants to try and get accomplished. So I'm going to turn this over to Sergeant Lincool.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
No. So I'm in charge of our community relations within the department. So we just had Summer Bash scheduled for July 19th on a Saturday. The weather looked horrific, so we had to push it back a week. And we picked probably the hottest day of the summer. It was about 95 degrees and pure humidity. So we ended up having to cut it short for safety reasons to make sure that nobody had any heat strokes or anything like that. And so all total, we ended up coming up at $899 for Light of Dayton. And then I approached Lieutenant Baldwin and Chief Halfhill about another opportunity for an event on, it's going to be October 25th this year. Be the Saturday for Halloween, and it's going to be a Halloween fun run / walk. All the proceeds are going to go to the American Cancer Society. With the help of Assistant City Administrator Jared Barks, he helped with the website registration, a QR code on our flyer where people are able to register immediately at the tip of their fingers. I had a meeting this morning with St. Elizabeth. They've already donated. They're going to be one of our main sponsors, and also Western and Southern. I have other sponsorships that are in the works or attempting to be in the works at this point. And basically the point of the event is basically to try and remember anybody that we've lost to cancer in the past, show everybody who is currently in the fight that they're not alone, and just being there for each other. So anybody who has interest in it or any questions, feel free to email me, call me, whatever. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions, and hopefully you guys will be out there. We also are going to allow people to wear appropriate Halloween costumes if they wish to the 5K,
Excellent.
run, and all that. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out.
And that was that flyer I distributed out to everybody.
So.
And there were some additional there if anybody would like to.
So it is to benefit the American Cancer Society, not the Light Up Dayton.
Correct. No, every
Okay.
single bit of that money is going to go to the American Cancer Society. So,
Thank you.
any questions?
Thanks, Sergeant. Questions?
Thank you.
Also, did somebody get engaged in the last month?
I did, yes. So, got engaged. I've got a baby on the way. So,
Wow. Congratulations, sir.
thank you. Appreciate it. It's an exciting time in my life for sure. So,
Well, we're excited for you, buddy.
thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, police. Be safe out there. Well, Rick,
That might be definitely appreciated.
cheese stands alone, man. You're the last one.
Okay, as far as the steps on 10th Brooklyn, I do have Metal Solutions. They've been up there, I think, 2 times now. And it's going to take a lot of welding. I mean, this is gonna be special as far as how they have to do it and all that. So they're supposed to get me a price, hopefully within the next week or so.
What happened to it?
It's just,
It just fell apart?
oh, I guess, yeah, I
don't know.
mean,
Okay.
I went up there and looked at it, and looked like it's broke off from the bottom.
Mhm.
But they're gonna fix all the pieces that are missing,
Great.
because, I mean, the way they're offsetted and stuff. So they're gonna give me a price, and we'll see what happens.
It's probably 100 years old. Those-
place?
It's probably 100 years old, those
Oh,
railings.
every bit of it,
At least.
probably.
I bet in the
Now,
1920s.
the one area that looks like it leads to a trail, you wanna leave that open, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it is on a flat,
Right. And
part
it
of
looks
the
like it never
steps.
really had any railing there, so that'll
right.
be fine.
Yep. And then, let's see, our Gaga pit is done.
Excellent. So the kids aren't scraping their fingers anymore.
Yep.
Well
So
done.
Rick, explain what you all did there. I guess the Gaga pit was very popular with the kids, but it was just a asphalt base, and so we bought a pad that
Yeah,
fits
you bought a
underneath it.
2,800-pound
Yeah.
pad.
Heavy rubber, and it
And then
snaps
they put
together.
it together this morning, or this
How long does that pad last?
Please?
How long do you think that pad will last with all the weather and all the other stuff?
Oh, it'll last probably
Forever.
forever. I mean, it's 3/4 thick
Excellent.
rubber. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, unless, something weird happens to it. Another thing on, the trees on Sixth Avenue, we're gonna start on them tomorrow. As far as getting the weeds out of them.
Yeah.
And then, you have the big event this weekend down at the river.
Yeah, rocking on the river.
It is very neat to go down. You can go on the walking trail, Queen City riverboats. It is neat to see. You really like to go down and see that. I mean, there's a lot of boats, and it's exciting to watch.
It's hopping.
Yep. And then our no parking signs, hopefully they'll be in tomorrow.
So we're going to be putting no parking signs on the south side of Manhattan Boulevard, so you can only park over by the houses. It's creating a kind of pinch points, and so we'll be putting those all on the light poles, and then some places we have to put actual poles up, but we're going to do really nice black poles.
Yeah,
They'll look
that'll be
attractive.
square black poles.
So that's hopefully.
We'll probably put, 2 coming in.
Yeah. We have people parking at the entrance too, where the landscaping is, which is not safe, so we're gonna make sure there's no parking on that side. So, they've been on order for a while, so glad they're here.
And that's about all I have. I mean, we're busy cutting grass.
You guys are busy.
I mean, I'm started on the flood wall today, so, yeah. Other than that,
Any questions for Public Works Director, Mr. Lucas?
No.
I didn't.
All right, thank you, sir. Get back to work now. That concludes this evening's department head report, minus our city administrator. Mr. Fawcett, the floor is yours, sir.
Just a couple quick updates. I know we have some people who will still want to speak. The State Highway Department did come in and they changed the signage for Kentucky 8X, as they call it now, to move it from Clay to Maine. And so we now have to, and we've also installed all the ADA ramps that are required before we pave it. So we're just waiting for Eaton to get back with us when they're going to do the paving in the city. And once that's done and we stripe it, then I think we're good to go. So, but they actually have changed it, the actual signage there. Update on pickleball courts is that pickleball courts, of course, have been poured. We have the poles that have been installed, but not the fencing yet, because the guys that, we have to do 2 things. We have to put a retaining wall behind the pickleball court where the softball field is, and then another retaining wall down where 4th Avenue butts into it. So they got their equipment there today. I think that will happen here pretty soon, and then we have to wait till September to do the sports coatings, they call it. It has to cure for about a month. So we're on track, and looks good. We also had the basketball courts repaved and restriped, and kids are out down using them now, so they look great. That's all I really have.
Any questions, comments, concerns for Mr. Fawcett? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to.
Name and address.
I live in Dayton. My son plays for the football team.
Yes.
And I was told to come down and I would like to promote these, if anybody's interested. They are to help the football team. They're coupons, they are $20. There's many coupons on here for Valvoline, local restaurants, fast foods, many different places.
How much?
They're $20.
I got 20 bucks.
I'll take two.
I'm out of 20s, actually.
I got you.
I'll take one, Alex will take one. Look, it pays to
Thank you,
stick
sir.
around and listen to civil conversations. Here's one
Thank you,
for
sir. Thank you, sir.
Ernie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank for what you guys do. This is great. I had one of the kids knock on, I might have a couple of these. But the kids that are knocking on my door and asking me to buy these, I'm a sales guy. So that's just so important that these kids are getting out, talking to people, and you're doing good stuff. So go Green Devils.
Appreciate it. I take them to my job. I'm a social worker, so I'm like, please buy these.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And thanks to all the companies and the businesses. A lot of these are Dayton businesses. You know, we see Hometown Heroes on here, of course, and Tuba, and Galactic Chicken, and did you say Unitaza? Yeah, you got a lot of great local businesses on here. So thanks to them for supporting our Green Devils. Yeah, young entrepreneur, I love it. All right, this opens up the floor for audience comments. If we could, I mean, we've been here for 2.5 hours almost. If we could keep it brief, get your point across, and we can have a conversation. So if anybody would like to address City Council administration, the floor is yours. Nobody?
Mr. Colt, you.
Mr. Culp?
Being Mr. Gunning here. My name is Dave Culp. I live at 320 6th Avenue. Mr. Gunning here lives, what's your address? 314 6th Avenue. I was here last month. I got a lot to go over. I know it's getting late, and I'm going to come back the next meeting. There's some other things I want to go over, but the one issue I want to address is the property at 316 6th Avenue. The property owner that owns this building is here tonight, him and his wife. So, excuse me. I've been with the code enforcement board on this piece of property for the last 2 years. Oh, one thing. The last time I was here, Mr. Baker, I asked you where the historic district's at. And you immediately said on the left.
I immediately said, excuse
You
me?
immediately said it was on the left. I said, where is a historic
I
district?
measly said?
It's on the left.
I don't believe I measly said anything.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir. What did you mean by that?
I don't believe I said on the left. That
You
doesn't,
said on
it
the
doesn't
left.
make sense to me. I said,
So what you're telling me is the historic district is both sides of the street
yes, sir.
and 6th Avenue. Okay. But you did say it was on the left.
I don't believe I did, and I'd be happy
Yes,
to
you
go back
did,
to the video,
sir.
sir. And to say
Yes,
something
you
I said
did,
measly,
sir.
that's,
Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did.
we'll agree to disagree, sir.
We can put it up on the map if you'd like to see it up on the screen.
Well, I think you got the minutes of the last meeting, right? These meetings are taped, I believe.
Yes?
Yes, sir, they are.
So we could go back and look at that if you want to.
We will.
Okay. Now, I was gonna go over this tonight, but I think I'll go over this the next time we're here. I got a thing here on the Dayton Economical Improvement Fund. Where does that money come from?
It comes from our Economic Development Fund. We have an Economic Development Fund.
Sorry, I
An
can't-
economic development fund the city has,
Okay,
and it's money that they obtained, I believe, I wasn't here at the time, Joe, you may help me, but wasn't it from the development of the industrial park that some of that money
It
was?
started with the purchase of the marina by Stark.
Right.
And we put that into there was a small balance there to begin with. There was not, it was ill-defined at that time.
So that's devoted to just promoting economic development in the city. It's separate from the general fund.
Oh, well, I have a thing here, and I have some questions on it. Money that being given to businesses,
That's correct. We have a program,
and there's a lot of names on here. I don't see any business, all I see is a name. So I got a lot of questions on that, but I'm not gonna go over that tonight. Mr. Gunning and I are here because of this house, like I was saying before. So when you told me that historic district is on both sides of the street, okay, I don't have to go over that.
they're up on the, you can see
Okay.
an image of it up here. That is the historic district. It runs pretty much the whole Sixth Avenue down to, I believe, Maine.
So my house is in the historic district,
That's correct.
Mr. Gunning's house is in the historic district, and their house is in the historic district.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I have some pictures here I'd like to show you of things that have been done to that house. And I'll pass these out to you. I want you to take a look at it. I don't want to lose my stuff here. You have to excuse me. The wall was changed down front. His wall runs the entire width of his property. Now, he went before, you have to go before the board before any motions are made, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Board of Architectural Review.
Yes. Now, somebody gave him permission to put this wall up.
That would be the board.
Where did that permission come from? Who gave him permission to do that?
Jared handles, he's a liaison.
The Board of Architectural Review did approve that.
Okay.
Who
The
approved it?
board, it's a city-appointed board, the Board of Architectural Review.
Okay, who's on the board?
It's on the website. I'll read it to you.
So, from what I understand, when I read the guidelines of the historic district, when that wall is put back up, it has to be comparable to the wall that's there. So I want you to take a look at these pictures and tell me, is that wall comparable?
This wall here?
This is one side of his property, this is the other side of his property. This is a wall that fell down. This is what it looked like before.
Yeah, the ones that
It
sent,
fell down, he put this back.
right. That's in the discretion of the board. The old wall was a cinder block wall, and they replaced it with one that looks more like,
Do they still make those type of blocks?
Yes, they do.
oh, they make them, but
Yes, they do.
they don't necessarily have to be exactly the same type. That's
So-
up to the board.
So it's up to the board,
Yes.
and there's nobody from the board here?
No, they're a separate board.
Okay, so I have to take over that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's already been, the decisions are made, you had the time to appeal it, it's too late to appeal it now.
Who has to appeal?
If you challenge the board's decision, you have the right to appeal that decision, but
Well, I didn't know anything about that. So when does that board meet?
it meets as needed. Whenever there's an issue, that historic preservation issue, they meet as needed.
Okay, so this is an issue.
What's that?
This is an issue.
I'm not sure what you mean.
This is an issue in the historic district.
It's an issue?
This is a property that's in the historic district.
That's correct. And they considered his request
Okay.
and they approved it.
He doesn't like that there.
So what you're telling me is that wall is gonna stay like that from now on?
That's correct.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We got a historic district. Now, I got another picture here.
It's been at least 3 years.
Of the porch. If you'll give me a minute. So I guess you don't have anything to do with this either.
I don't know what you're
This
talking
is,
we still on 316, 6th?
316 Sixth Avenue, yes.
Have these issues been brought up with code enforcement?
Yes, they
Yes.
Yes.
Cassie's been working on the issue.
Okay.
Walking the
Joe,
truck.
I can provide more detail with what I'm assuming are all of these issues. So, I did research on this particular house and used Google Map imagery to see when all of these changes were made.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to the stone, the board did approve the stone. They looked at the streets on that particular block, and there's 5 different sets of stone being used. There wasn't one particular set, and so they didn't feel like it was in their wheelhouse to deny the application because there's multiple different retaining wall materials happening within one block.
That's correct, that's true. That's true.
The second part is the porch railing. It looks as though it was removed between 2009 and 2012. So that was a good 15 years ago. At that time, the only way that the historic board could have stopped that process was to do a stop work order. There were no fines associated with changing, and so there was no stop work order done, nothing was happening. This is 15 years in
Nope.
arrears.
No complaints?
No complaints.
Okay.
And so we cannot retroactively, with our historic board regulations that we currently have, go back 15 years ago and punish a homeowner for changes that they did in the past. We don't even have records that go that far to determine if there was a permit filed or not. And so I don't feel that it's fair to go back that long and punish someone for work that was done before any of us were here. The last complaint that Mr. Culp has made was the roof line change in the rear of the property. According to Google Map images, that was done prior to 2013, which would fall into the same sort of situation as the porch railing. It was done too far in the past. We do not have any regulatory power to fine or do anything to the property. The time to make this complaint should have been done over a decade ago.
So you tell me this was done 15 years ago, correct?
According to Google Map images, yes.
Well, I've lived there for 50 years, and I'm telling you, it wasn't done 15 years ago.
So
When do you think it
I
was
have something
done?
to say.
I don't care what Google Maps says.
Mr. Culp, did you file a complaint when it was done?
Yes, I did.
Back then? Back then, 15 years ago, whenever?
2 years.
What's that?
2 years. With the code enforcement board, 2 years. So what you're all telling me is, now parts of that porch is laying on the porch. They tore that porch up, they threw the spindles in the yard,
You saying the tenants did,
it's never been put back up.
you saying the tenants did that, Mr. Culp? The tenants?
Yes.
Okay,
Tenants done that.
okay.
How long ago?
Within a past, well, it's been within the last 5 or 6 years.
Did you file a complaint at that time or bring it to code enforcement's attention? Because they can't go on private property.
Say, it's all said and done, what you're telling me, everybody's telling me that this guy is allowed to leave that end of the porch off, even though the porch are there, that's what you're telling me.
No, we're not
No, I'm
saying
just-
that.
I'm just asking for,
No, what I'm saying is, if there's a violation of our historic preservation rules or code enforcement, complaints are made and we investigate it, and I know that Ms. Patterson is currently investigating code enforcement and has cited him for issues, so that is ongoing right now.
Okay.
Come up here, Cassie, so you can speak in the microphone.
You spoke multiple times
Yes, we did.
throughout,
This
next,
process.
what, year, maybe?
Years ago.
And I've advised you that I cannot personally step on your property. I can
That's
cite
exactly
for what I can see from the right, from
Yes.
public right of way.
Yes.
I asked you to bring in photos.
Yes.
You brought in photos on Thursday
Sir, we don't raise your voice, sir.
It's right here.
Sir,
It's right here.
we treat everyone with respect, though, and that's not fair.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm upset.
And
12/18, I told her about this. Okay? She was supposed to go back at 1/18. That's the way it works. I understand. If there's a code violation, that person has got 30 days to take care of that problem. It is August, people, August. That was never fixed until Sunday.
okay.
Now, the way I'm reading all these regulations and everything, it goes, this man should have been fined starting January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 7 months. He should have been fined $700. He should have not been given a rental license because he had outstanding fees. Correct?
I don't think he had any outstanding fees. You wanted to have fees, but they weren't assessed.
So in other words, she should have charged me, but she didn't.
She issued a citation. We generally work with them, with residents to try to get them to repair their properties. And if they don't do that, then we will follow up with citations and fines.
We do work with our residents to make sure that we're just not trying to hit them. We want them, we're not looking for money, we're looking for,
Compliance.
correct.
Problem solved. So you're telling me it took December to August to get this. These windows were broken out, not on my side. Mr. Gunny can tell you, this is a health issue. These people live in that house with all the windows broken out.
She can't cite on those unless she has photographs, which you finally gave her.
I'm sorry.
You finally gave her photographs that showed the windows broken, right? She could not cite unless she sees the actual, she can't step on this property. You gave her, so she just got those.
Even though I told her about it.
Right, but she can't, she's got to have evidence.
Okay, so now, I showed her all this pictures. Was she cited at all? Did you send me anything? I sent him a notice of violation.
There are two things. There's a notice violation and there's citation.
He's reached out to me and let me know that he's going to fix everything.
He says everything.
I sent him. So I have, the paint, peeling and chipping, the yard sanitation, the grass and weeds, and the glass for the windows. I also spoke to our inspector who's in the unit, both units, and they both had minor deficiencies, but no, they did not fail.
So, the last time I talked to him, he's not going back here until next year. So if I wouldn't have came, because you can't go up with a piece of property, you can't see the side, you cannot see the back.
Which is why I say,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
That's correct.
Which is why I say every meeting to everyone, even council, if you see something, let me know, call me. But I have to have a photograph. I can't just,
Even though I told you, I have to have proof, is what you're saying.
correct.
Because we need to have proof, because we need to have proof.
We can't go on people's properties without a warrant.
Now, let me ask you something. If I would not go over to that man's house, you think those would have been fixed? After I gave you those photos?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know, do you?
I don't.
You shouldn't be running.
We would have, am I allowed to say?
Yeah, you should come up to the microphone, though.
So, in the past, we have received notices, and we have responded to those notices. I don't know if we did receive a notice in December, or if we did, I don't remember, sorry. But all 4 windows, I personally went to Lowe's, I got all the glass. We have photos of the windows being put back together, painted. We have, all the yard
ADA?
you know, that kind of thing.
ADA.
So those are all the considerations you have to do. You can't just put up a wall, like you checked first. And I wanted to raise my hand before. We've been told that when we fix the other half of the wall, it needs to match, which is what our intention is. So that our whole section will match when we eventually will have to replace that wall. So it will match. There's no structural need, but when we do need to do it, we will do it.
Okay, the other problem is with dogs.
Well, that's the tenant problem, and as I said, we are working on it. And I did give that to Terry Baker, and she has investigated it.
No? You want me to say?
I want to tell you all what Mr. Baker did, but the animal control person told me, I told you. Okay? Bill would tell you the same thing. There were 6 dogs in that house. 6.
How many families?
2 belong to the girlfriend. This is what she told me. 2 belong to the boyfriend, and the other 2 to the house. Now, I asked her what she was going to do. Well, she's going to move. Okay? And I don't want to take that one dog away from her, even though you're only supposed to have 3 dogs. I don't want to take that one dog away, because I just feel bad. So to me, it says you can only have 3 dogs. See, this is what Baker does. She takes it upon herself to make up the rules. I've had a problem with her before with the cats,
I remember.
which is it's an old problem, it's the same problem. There were 15 cats in the problem, 15.
We had to fix that.
And I got a neighbor who will come down here and tell you that she pulled into the alley in the van and took bags of food and gave it to that girl to feed those cats. That's what Miss Baker does. So she's telling me that she's gonna be the 4 dogs are gonna stay there. Even though you say we're gonna have 3, they will stay there, because Miss Baker says she's gonna make the rules. She's not gonna let them she's not gonna get that rid of that dog. Yeah, well, the way I see it, the way council sees it, are we gonna let them dictate to us what they're gonna do?
No, they follow our rules, sir.
Did you just state that you weren't gonna take the one dog, you were gonna
She was not gonna take one dog. This is her way of getting around.
That's what you want us to work on? You want us to deal with getting rid of this 4th dog? Or am I misunderstanding something?
Aren't there 6?
If she's babysitting dogs, hey, that's a business. She have a license to do that?
I have dogs back.
Is she watching like her sister's dogs, or
No,
is she?
she's on rover.com. Rover.com, that's what she told me. So you can sit dogs, $25, $40, $50, whatever.
So have you been on Rover.com and you verified that, or is it just hearsay?
Well,
I mean, have you physically seen it, or you're just one by
I
something else?
got on rover.com, all it gives you is all the detailed amount, much money you can make, gives you what the rates are, no set rates. So,
I just hear a lot of
This should all be
hearsay,
taken
so I
off.
was just looking for evidence.
There's no issue with the laws that we have in place at this point. I presume it's just the enforcement of it or the interpretation. This is not the place for this
Yeah, this is
conversation.
too long.
Right, this is,
I know, so the girl told Miss Baker, and then Miss Baker told you, or, like, do you see where I hear a lot of hearsay, we need evidence, like, I know we continue to go, I respect everything, we've jumped to so many issues, I'm already confused,
correct.
but
I'm gonna
Why is everybody saying jokes?
We typically restrict these comments to 5 minutes. Yeah. We've gone on to 20.
I will be back next council meeting, okay?
Okay. That's fine.
And I want to know what the end about the dog.
I will call you tomorrow and let you know what's going on with the dogs. Is that?
Now on, I will have pictures.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Culp. Well, each,
Otherwise, I'm bound by landlord tenant, which is give a notice, wait for time to cure, re-inspect, everything that already takes time.
yeah.
Terry Baker tells me that there's 4 dogs in the unit. I will be more than happy to email you a notice for.
Can't you put that in your, can't you put that in your rental agreement?
Exactly what you said, right? That's what I'm telling you.
No dogs?
Code says they can only have 3 dogs. Ms. Baker says.
I mean, you can make your own law whatever you want. You can make it, I want 1 dog under 20 pounds.
They had permission for a dog initially. I'm not there day in, day out to find out if they're watching their friend's dog, or if they've gotten a second dog, or a 5th dog. Only when someone tells me.
So when you're complaining about the dogs, you're complaining about dog feces, basically, or are they a disturbance too?
I have,
Complaining about that.
Okay.
What I'm complaining about is that sometime or another, Mr. Baker and the council passed going from 2 dogs to 3
Yep.
dogs. That was passed by council.
years
Yep.
ago, yes.
And I don't know why that was passed. I don't know what the issue was, why you decided to go from 2 dogs to 3 dogs.
Somebody requested it and it passed council.
Okay. So now if I come to you and I request to have 4 dogs,
Then you'd have to get it through a council vote.
right,
You can make it 20 dogs. I doubt it's going to pass.
What is the issue with the dogs? Do we have dog feces? Do we have dog barking? Or is it just the fact that you know that they have 4 dogs and the dog's 3 because we're upset, so you have all of this information? Or are the dogs bothering?
I'm upset because she circumvented the law.
So you're upset with Terry? That is what
Exactly.
it
I've been upset with Terry for a long time.
is. Okay, but the dogs have not done anything, hurt you, hurt the property like we.
Listen, I went over there,
Again, this is going on 20 minutes.
she stuck, the dog can stick their heads through the windows. The dogs have gotten out. The dog got out. They had no shots, they had no tags,
Actually, no.
but yet, it's okay. Let Ms. Baker say, hey, I can circumvent the law anytime I want to. I don't have to listen to you people. She found out how many cats did she have with her, Brian? How many cats? That's a lot. I don't know the number. It was 15. And when the employee of Campbell County was employed by the Campbell County Animal Control person, and she pulls in the alley with a van and gives them food. Is that legal?
Sir, with all due respect, we've been here for 3 hours.
Right, and I just sit there.
And I apologize, I really don't mean to be rude. I understand your frustrations. I've had neighbor problems in the past. Could we set up a meeting with the 3 of you?
Yes.
Because I think direct communication with the property owner is going to be a lot more effective.
I'm willing to do that. I also want to set up a meeting with the historic.
I would suggest that, sir. Because the historic board, you don't have to replace something exactly. It has to meet they have discretion to approve or disapprove based on, does it look historic for that type of a house, et cetera. But please, as I said, I haven't had dinner. We've been here over 3 hours.
I know, I've been here too. I sat through everything myself.
But it really this could be a lot easier remedy to speak directly with code enforcement, Ms. Baker,
I tried to do that. I've been fighting this for 2 years. 2 years I've been fighting.
have you met with the,
You know how I went to her complaining about the paint peeling off, coming into my yard. You know how long it took them to
apologize, but it's really going to be easier for you guys all to talk directly with the property owner.
Yes.
When do you want to set a meeting up?
When are you available?
Take that offline.
Yeah, let's do that later.
Let's
Next.
take that offline.
We all have each other's informations.
I apologize, but that's a lot better way to solve this. We can't do anything.
Because I tried
Shut
to
it down.
Thank you very much, sir.
You know what? Nobody.
Next on the agenda would be anybody else from the audience that make any comments?
Nobody listens to you when you're nice.
I know. I've run into it myself, sir.
If there's no other comments, do we have any new business?
Yes. I have a question about, we had at least 3 accidents in a short amount of time on 6 and on Fairfield this month. The one in Dayton on Fairfield at the lodge, somebody came in, took out the light pole, the garbage can, the iron fence, the Stewart fence. And I wondered whatever happened with our traffic study on 6th and Irvin Terrace, because we talked about changing it so that they had to stop or something so that they didn't have this kind of momentum flying down through the rest of 6th and, or,
I think there was discussion about changing out the light to a stop sign.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was momentum on the council to do that as far
yes,
as I
there was,
remember.
yeah, I remember.
I don't think so.
I didn't think there was,
The mayor,
either.
the mayor said that he was not interested in doing that.
I remember.
I mean, I literally, I'm there 30 times a day. I don't see a reason for that.
At the time, we discussed it, and it was that either if you got the green light, now you've been rocking along, you have the green light, and they're picking up speed. We had a long discussion several times about how the Lisa Cleat was here, about how the street is curved, so there's some sort of optical illusion, I don't know what. But then the final suggestion was we should put like a stop sign or a flashing stop so that everyone was forced to stop, so they couldn't pick
Let me
up
show you a video of
that
people
momentum.
paying stop signs at the corner of 6th and
Well,
Berry.
whatever. I mean, that was the thing. It seems like.
So I got about 100 of them that show that people do not obey the stop signs, and we have to constantly take our
Then
police
bust them,
forces off.
Then bust them, then put
And-
someone
And
there.
that's exactly what we try to do, ma'am.
Yeah.
And then it's taking our cops off of doing other things as they sit there and wait for people to blow through stop signs.
Well, then maybe they can get them sometimes.
Who-
You know, because
Joe, how
what
many-
is the alternative? Lisa
Lieutenant, how
Clayton-
many stops did we have at 6th and Berry? Yeah, last month?
4.
40?
For what?
They have it listed on the police report.
Oh,
We had the discussion of turning Irvin into a 3-way stop sign, and my understanding is that KYTC said no.
is that right?
And the mayor did not want to do it, and they did not want to do it again.
They didn't want to
Mike Yeager
study
said
it
they were not.
again.
They didn't say no, but they said that they are like, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this for every stoplight on the street.
Oh, again, meaning after they did Barry, they don't want to do another one. Okay.
Traffic engineers want to get you from point A to point B as fast as you can.
I mean, I wish it was a
Legally-
roundabout,
Legally.
but that should have been 150 years ago when we designed the city, which obviously I missed that meeting.
I don't know what engineers want.
What's that?
I don't know what engineers want. It's just, that was discussed at the time, that having a stop would be a way if everyone had to stop, so they wouldn't have that momentum. And because Lisa Cleat got wiped out 4 times or something.
That would have nothing to do with, Lisa's, and
That
I'm
was the
sympathetic because
conversation.
I've lost a car, one on the avenue. I'm sympathetic to that, but if you look at the way that it's happened, people are coming towards Dayton from Bellevue. And I encourage you to try this one time. Just go ahead and, if there's no other traffic around, just keep straight. As you come from Bellevue into Dayton on the 300 block of 6, if you don't move your hand, you will hit Lisa's car. That has nothing to do with you stopping at that. That has to do with you not looking at your,
You mean on the other side, leaving
I
here?
mean, going east on 6 towards Fort Thomas from Bellevue. Right, it's a bend. And if you don't move your hand, if you don't take that little turn, you hit Lisa's car. And
Driver inattention is what it is. I mean, you can't
I mean, we should ban cell phones and drinking.
So, I was gonna say
back to the-
wasn't. no.
Back to the comment here. So I do recall that conversation. I do not recall there ever being like consensus on what the solution
There
was.
wasn't.
But it sounds like that we're not going to do the study now. Is that the
We
correct
never
statement?
talked about doing a study. There
I'm
was some
pretty
discussion
sure we
about it.
did, because you were surprised, and you thought, well, you guys never directed me to
right.
do that. And we all were like, yeah, I remember Jessica said. And then, whatever.
We can answer
Just
So
the
there's a lot of accidents.
can we ask now to do a study if it's available and possible?
State would do the study, the state would have to do it. My concern is traffic engineers, traffic's already bad enough as it is. If you're now, everybody's gotta stop there, it's gonna start stacking back. And I don't think they're gonna do it again, but we can ask them to do a study, see what they say.
I don't have the information to know how many accidents over the last 2 or 3 years there's been in that very same spot.
Chief pulled all that
Well, we've
stuff.
had, yeah.
So we do have that report.
And
We'll
it's
just have
minimal.
to
We had
go
a
back and
rash
get
of
it.
them,
Chief,
And then they quit
yeah,
for a while.
yeah, Chief pulled that
That's why
report,
we
and
didn't
what
really
he had
pursue it.
found, I
Including
thought
this
the
last month?
I don't, not from the last month, the last time we talked about this.
Yeah, that's been
when
a
this came
while.
up, which was several months ago. But then, at that point, the finding was more that it was a matter of distracted driving versus anything else, that,
then we
everybody
then we
had
have
either
many
like
months
looked
where-
down at their phone or had done this before they, ran into something. But
Right.
I don't know.
You should put a stop sign at every corner.
You have to not be paying attention, picking up speed.
Picking up speed.
Because when I drive, it's just they're different drive down the avenue, that drive down Longview, you're looking on both ways. You dodge a pothole, like, and it's just almost common sense driving, and you can't do a study on stupidness. I mean,
But we would
if
like
we-
to see the study updated to include this past month. Is that?
I'm not sure. I think there's kind of a problem with people getting fast on 6th and Fairfield,
Okay.
And if we were to,
and
Vote.
taking people out. Go ahead.
thank you, if we were to vote to request a study, we would have to pay for it. KYTC doesn't do these for free, correct?
I'm not sure. I think they did the one for free, but if we can ask them, I don't know. I can talk to Mike about it, he'll know.
All right,
But they have to make the final decision, it's their road.
understood.
I'll talk to Mike about it. I mean,
All right.
but is that the direction you want to go? Because after we talked about it, I think the reason we decided not to pursue it is that.
And the chief
then
of
all
police came here and
all
said
the
it's not-
accidents, they all
yeah.
stopped. They stopped for a long time, and then, I don't know, they cropping back up again?
add it to new business,
No.
we talk about taking to a vote.
What's that?
Add it to new business, and then bring it up to next council. Like, if you was to ask me my vote, I would say no. I wouldn't even do a traffic study. I don't think it's worth it. We have how many stop signs? No one stops at any of them. Might go to 3rd Street, 4th Street, 5th Street. I understand we're gonna say we need officers, but how many corners do we have in the city? People
Right.
are gonna do what they want, no matter what happens.
And there's no stop sign that would stop somebody from going in that direction.
Even a traffic, it's
Before I go to the state, is there consensus among council to this? I don't want to go there and then they do the study and then we say, oh,
No.
we don't want to do it.
I am not,
You know,
I'm
and-
bringing it up because
I can
we
tell you
had-
how difficult it's been to just get the stop sign study done and then changing the route. So, I mean, if we keep on doing this, they're gonna like.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying, I just wanna know, I got consensus to do it before I go there. They do all the study, they do all the work, and then we don't do it. So is there consensus to do this?
Does not, wait a minute, you're going too far. This is not even about consensus. I'm bringing up that there were 3 accidents this month, and I
All
remembered,
in that same area?
a couple blocks down, it seems like people
You
are
said
kind of.
Fairfield, but it's.
Chief,
6th
I'm sorry, Lieutenant,
Yes, both.
do you know these
So on
accidents?
hold on. So on 6th Avenue, they took out a bunch of stuff, including a traffic, street light. And I remembered that we had this whole conversation over and over again about Lisa Cleats, about how many cars she's lost, and I wanted to know the update on whatever happened with that 2 conversations we had about having a stop sign so that people were not picking up speed past Irvin Terrace. They were starting over again, so they weren't rocking all the way down and really jamming by the time they got by the lodge or anywhere else.
The impression I got was that we decided not to pursue it. And maybe I just was
Okay.
I
talking.
agree, I do. I
Okay.
thought that was.
that's good enough. I'm taking the temperature because somebody just wiped out a bunch of stuff down there.
But again, if there's consensus to move
Nope,
forward with the
it
study.
doesn't have to, I mean, you know, if
I'd be
we
happy to-
knock down another, I don't know, another 5 accidents, then we'll see what happens. It's fine.
Well, I originally, probably 6, 8 years ago, wanted to change Irvin Terrace to four-way.
Right?
A four-way stop sign or stoplights or whatever.
Mhm.
The I still feel that that'd be a good solution, but it wasn't accepted.
Well, I believe residents came in and said, we don't want that.
Yeah, because kids.
So same as we had tonight saying,
Yeah.
people saying,
Right.
yeah.
But I mean, we discussed this before. I proposed it, we discussed it. Four-way stop, four-way
was
red
this?
lights. Pardon me?
When was this?
Well, this is back when Virgil was mayor, because Virgil said, I'm not gonna go into what Virgil said, but it was comical.
So it was at least 8 or 10 years ago, yeah.
Okay, whatever.
And we brought up the flashing stop signs, and then we have
Yes.
residents saying that they don't want it blinking in their window all night long, because when we talked about adding them to the school zone, and that was a hot mess. I think we only got 1 or 2 that was each because they were against, because the other side was residents.
Okay.
And looking around and watching people, it's mostly distracted driving. I don't know how many people I see with their phone like this driving down the street. It's crazy. And that's a matter of enforcement, catching them.
Okay.
Any other new business?
I got 6 things, believe it or not. I've been waiting for this for 3.5 hours. A very busy weekend in the city. Civic Activity Board meets here tomorrow night. The new Green Devil Stadium field dedication on Thursday. Rick already beat me to it, but the boats at the marina is a really cool thing. And that's gonna bring a lot of people into the city and our businesses. St. Bernard Festival Friday and Saturday. River City Ducks are having their games at Davis Field this weekend. on
Yeah, they were up there
Saturday.
today.
Pardon me?
They were up there today, I believe.
No, not Gill Lynn. They're
I
playing at
said they were
Davis
up there
Field,
today. I was, up at Davis.
which is really cool. I don't know what they're gonna do with Davis, but that's Saturday. We got the yoga at the park Saturday, which my understanding is they had like 35 some people there the last time. And then Tina and I are with Histories on the Square Thursday evening. That's all I have, sir.
Is that all on the website or on the Facebook
I believe so, yeah. I just
calendar?
wanted,
Okay.
if anybody's still watching after 3 hours.
It's on the city's webpage. I saw the calendar posted as a pinned post.
I got the email, newsletter.
Yeah. This is for the people watching on YouTube that have.
All 2 of them?
There's still
All 2 of them.
Yeah, one of them keeps texting me when you're coming home for dinner. Any other new business?
Yes. So the thing I'm going to propose is something that's going to hopefully shorten these meetings significantly and also reduce the amount of conversation about certain topics as well. So committee formation proposal meeting was had 2 Wednesdays ago, I believe. I submitted the information over to a handful of people on here and copied Beth, who was nice enough to stop by for that meeting and contribute to that. We need to get some committees going here to funnel a lot of this stuff out or talk about a lot of the finer details of this stuff and ask the right questions here before we bring it to the big body. And I've been pushing for this for a while. I think we're finally starting to get some traction. I don't know what the next step is. I thought I had asked to put it on the agenda for this time round, but I don't know if it was not enough time to review. So what, I'm just, at some point, I think, Mayor Baker, it's just on you to make an executive order on this, but I would like to
I
hash
saw your
out-
email.
Yeah.
I saw your email. I guess it was about a week ago or so.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I've had some time to digest it. I think it's good. Let's bring it up the next meeting. We put it on the agenda. We can handle it out to council via email in between then, so they can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good, and I appreciate everyone's wanting to be even more engaged. I like that. But Yeah, so if it's on me, then let's put it on the next month's agenda, since we only had a week to look at it, and we have to get it to our attorneys, we have to get it to all of them.
Yep.
Let's put it on the next month's agenda.
Yep. And so part of the reason for bringing it up here is that I would hope that Mayor Baker would source requests from people on council on which committees they would like to serve on. So start thinking through what those committees you would want to serve on would be after we send out the list of what we're proposing.
But it's by choice, correct?
Yep.
I'm just going on record, I don't.
That's fine.
You don't want any more stuff to do, Jess? Oh, come on. All right, Member Jeb, we will put that on next month's agenda. And in the meanwhile, in the month, let's get that out to everyone in council.
And that was going to be the last thing I brought up as well. I would want to probably do a quorum check for next month with me being out for work. I heard she's going to be out as well.
Oh.
Chief Christina, Member Kelly.
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
I'm out of town.
Good for you.
Yeah. Anybody else going to be out for the next meeting? Or is there good enough for a quorum?
I'm planning on being here.
Let's
Okay.
see, it's September, it's the week after Labor Day.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be in town for that.
So if you're not gonna be in town, we're not gonna have the committee on the agenda. It would,
For next month.
so it'll be the following month then. If
So you're
you want
saying-
to.
I'm fine for it to keep going with that. The sooner we get committees rolling, the sooner we won't have 3.5-hour meetings.
Oh, you're so young.
All right.
Any other comments? New business? Would anybody like to make the bold decision to make a motion to adjourn?
Now, that's a first.
Anybody on council?
I will make that.
Motion, do I have a second? Member Love has made a second. All in favor?
Hi.
All in favor? Opposed? Everybody. See you next month.
All right.